Hello guys, welcome to the stream. Today we are discussing KALKI 2898AD, the new science fiction Indian futuristic dystopian post-apocalyptic mythological मासी मसाला film. बहुत सारा नाम हो गया. But today I'm joined by Varun and Cineman guys. Welcome again. He's back. I think last time we talked about Donkey and this time it's KALKI. In other words, this session is basically, until his video comes out after 7 months, you can watch this and be happy.
Or in 2898AD.
That'd be good. But welcome, buddy. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Varun. And let's dive into the spoilers because there's so much I want to talk about. So, guys, spoiler alert! If you haven't seen the film, the spoiler tag is on the screen also. Let us know your thoughts. Your best moments, everything in the description. Description in the chat or in the comment if you're watching the replay. But guys, and hit that like button, guys. If you enjoy, so more people can join us. But let's get into it. From both of you, I want to first know your overview because I haven't talked to both of you about the film. So I don't know clearly what your take is, but I'll just clear my take that I felt there are a lot of flaws, but the potential and what we got in as a first big science fiction film in the country, which is setting up a whole universe, I'm pretty impressed and cannot wait for. But there are flaws which we'll get into, but that's my overview take. What about you guys?
मेरा भी exactly same है. Like the film has flaws definitely, but जो एक vision है ना, like dystopian महाभारत का, which Nag Ashwin has planned, like especially second half में and especially like climax में, like the way he revealed each element, it just seduced me like hell यार. मतलब I really want to see. It is one of the few universes जिसके case में I can say कि I'm really looking forward कि like जल्दी आगे बढ़े. So for that, maybe like we are ready to ignore all these small flaws.
Okay. Varun?
I think मेरे केस में भी सेम है that I really liked जो महाभारत वाले glimpses थे and of course जो पूरी world building भी जो बाकी की फिल्म में हुई है वो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा and उसके लिए जो भी फ्लॉज थोड़े बहुत है आई कैन ओवरलुक दैट. सब फ्लॉज नहीं, आई थिंक कुछ फ्लॉज इतने ज्यादा वो तो मुझे लग रहा था कि क्या मतलब क्यों है ये फिल्म में ऐसा. बट उसके अलावा आई थिंक like such a brave attempt, such a attempt for Indian cinema, and I was just happy कि finally ये हो रहा है अभी. Finally हमारे यहाँ ऐसी फिल्में बन रही है जो इस तरह की चीजें दिखा रही है. और हाँ, I think this is the one film या one series जिधर क्लिफ हैंगर पे एंड हुआ है. तो I really want to see कि नेक्स्ट पार्ट में क्या होगा और इससे कितना मतलब इससे इस फिल्म से पोटेंशियल पता चलता है कि क्या क्या और हो सकता है, and that's exciting.
I like the word you used, brave, which is I think very attributed to care to even think and then to execute something like this. I think that in itself is incredible in a time where we actually got an Adipurush which was a total rip-off to just make money. This is, and I think I would say even Omraut, what interviews I heard, the things he was saying that what he wants to do is definitely no budget is enough to pull that off, to make a like 95% CG film on Ramayana. Actually, that's what he wanted to make, and it clearly failed because that's not how you can make a film like that. He wanted to make Avatar, like 3 parts of Avatar in a budget of the catering service of Avatar.
Probably, yeah.
That's the problem. But a big shout out to Shelly Lee. Thank you, Shelly, for those memberships in the chat. Welcome people becoming members. Cineman face reveal कर दो भाई. Demand chat में.
बस यार कुछ दिन
खड़ा हो यार. कभी I think one of which was that YouTuber, he revealed his face and then his popularity went down.
यार जो भी यूट्यूबर बड़ा डरा रहा है मुझे, मेरे साथ ना हो जाए ऐसा.
He used to wear the white
वो एंग्री प्राश.
नहीं, foreign, it was a foreign YouTuber.
Oh,
अच्छा.
पता नहीं.
Very a small name, like he used to wear a white.
वो मुझे वो वीडियो याद आ रहा है जिसमें उसने लाइक मास्क उतारा था. मुझे कुछ वो नाम नहीं याद आ रहा उसका.
स्पीड सीड ऐसे कुछ नाम था. नहीं
स्पीड तो नहीं.
Speed to someone else I know. Dream. Thank you. But
नहीं यार ऐसा ना हो.
I want to, here talk about Brahmastra, because Cineman has made a whole, videos about Brahmastra and deep diving into it. So in comparison to Brahmastra, how do you look at it? Considering both have, from our own culture and mythology and, scriptures and very
Proper hero's
ambitious,
journey.
yeah, very ambitious project, and doing well with VFX, and also having Amitabh Bachchan.
To be honest, like कल्कि के रिलीज के पहले I literally thought, मैंने सोचा था ये ट्वीट भी डालूं कि मुझे पता नहीं क्यों लग रहा है कि कल्कि का हाल ब्रह्मास्त्र वाला ही होगा, कि तुम अंदर से पूरा सपोर्ट करना चाह रहे हो कि फिल्म ब्लॉकबस्टर हो, एकदम इम्प्रेस कर दे, बट अंदर अंदर यू आर लाइक कि यार मतलब रह गया कुछ. Like that's what I felt while watching Brahmastra. But Kalki में यार like first half में pretty much that was the feeling, to be honest, कि like कल्कि के फर्स्ट हाफ में जो ब्रह्मास्त्र के फर्स्ट हाफ में फीलिंग थी कि दोनों में इंटरवल ब्लॉक में दे चार्ज यू अप एंड यू फील लाइक कि अब कुछ होने वाला है. बट स्टिल जो फर्स्ट हाफ जिस हिसाब से गुजरा, यू आर लाइक कि आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग मोर एंड मे बी लाइक आगे स्टोरी डगमगा सकती है. बट कल्कि का सेकेंड हाफ इज ट्रूली द रियल गेम चेंजर आई विल से, क्योंकि ब्रह्मास्त्र के सेकेंड हाफ की तरह दे डिडंट वेंट हेवायर. इट वाज लाइक कि जो भी हेवायर जाना था वो फर्स्ट हाफ में चले गए, जो भी मजाक मस्ती और वो जो भी दिशा पाटने का जो भी था. बट सेकेंड हाफ में दे वर लाइक नाउ सीरियस स्टफ, अब हमें जो भी करना है इट्स इन ऑर्डर टू बिल्ड दिस डिस्टोपियन महाभारत वाला पूरा. एंड लाइक ब्रह्मास्त्र में ना इफ यू सी लाइक दोनों का जो ओपनिंग है फिल्म का, दोनों महाभारत के टाइम से ही चालू होती है. बट कल्कि में ये चीज बहुत ही डिस्टिंक्ट बनाती है फिल्म को कि दे टुक दैट महाभारत वाला फ्लैशबैक वाला थिंग एंड दे मेड इट अ पार्ट ऑफ द स्टोरी कि कॉल बैक्स कॉन्स्टेंट होते जा रहे हैं.
Yeah.
And that is like what makes Kalki distinct in my eyes. कि उसी से आइडिया होता है कि आगे ये चीज़ और भी होगी, आगे में भी लाइक अभी रेशियो क्या होगा, लाइक 90-10 होगा. 90% डिस्टोपियन जो अभी वर्ड देख रहे हैं हम लोग, 10% हम लोग फ्लैशबैक वाला महाभारत जो भी देख रहे हैं. मे बी आगे चल के भी मोर 60-40, 50-50, who knows.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really excited कि अब अभी हमें बस एक ही कैरेक्टर का डिस्टोपियन वर्जन जागते हुए दिखा है. And now you'll see, all the characters slowly. So, I guess coming to your question, like Brahmastra और Kalki में यही major difference है कि they got more connected to our history compared to Brahmastra. Brahmastra like वो love story वाला सबको ही पता है. They were more interested in that.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
नहीं, I was just adding कि हाँ, I think जो जैसा मतलब मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ that I want to see the same format, लेकिन I think बाहुबली 2 में जिस तरह से वो डिवाइड था between both present and the flashback, I think I would like to see something like this in the second film also, where they explore more of the Mahabharat period and maybe different characters, not the ones that we saw here, but more perspectives. And
I think Brahmastra tried to develop a whole new world, taking inspiration, whereas I think, as Nag Ashwin himself said, Kalki Universe is basically his attempt at making a sequel to Mahabharata, like ending the four yugas, ending Kali Yuga, like imagining what if that happens in a science fiction world, kind of. I think that's why the connections will be very, relevant there. But, yeah, I also had the same feeling going into Kalki that it doesn't have same thing as Brahmastra, because जो Brahmastra में नहीं काम किया, it became dated. The story became dated. The visuals are amazing. The thing when the visual happens, it's great, but there's no narrative connection. When अरे उसमें नागार्जुना का जब सीन है डेथ का, वो visually and music epic है, but I don't feel anything after that because I don't connect with him. I don't connect with his part. His part in the whole narrative. He was just there for one moment because the plot wanted him. So I think that was missing. And here, when I see these moments, I think that's what happens. Good thing is that first half they take their time to build everything up and then deliver in the second half. Which let's talk about first half, which a lot of people don't like. It's extra stuff. There's a lot of boring and all of that. So let's talk about that. What worked for you there and what didn't work for you?
what worked for me was the instances जहाँ पे वो लोग second half build up कर रहे थे, which is of course the opening, जो कमल हसन का पूरा intro था. Intro से I don't just mean जिस scene में कमल हसन थे, but even the scenes before that, you know, with the scientist, where
the
they're talking
complex,
about what
the
is
basically complex.
complex. हाँ, actually, yeah, complex is the right word. जितने भी scenes complex में थे, and the introduction scene were the only two things that worked for me, and the interval block. And बाकी सब like romantic angle, फालतू jokes. You know, I've been hearing कि ये dubbing का issue है, and मुझे उतना रियलाइज नहीं हुआ था, बट फिर मैंने तेलुगु ट्रेलर देखा एंड आई फेल्ट कि मे भी ऐसा हो सकता है, बिकॉज यू नो आई सेड इन द ट्वीट ऑल्सो कि मुझे प्रभास की जो लेड बैक परफॉर्मेंस थी ना, जिस हिसाब से वो एकदम लेड बैक एटीट्यूड में डिलीवर कर रहा था डायलॉग, आई डोंट नो वेदर इट वॉज द ब्रीफ ही गॉट फ्रॉम नाग अश्विन या जो भी था उनका था या किसी का भी था, वो बहुत बोरिंग बना रहा था सीन्स को और पंच लाइन्स को बहुत ज़्यादा. एंड आई जस्ट फेल्ट लाइक या वो वाले पोर्शंस जहाँ पे कॉमेडी करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे इट डिडंट रियली वर्क फॉर मी. आई वाज लिटरली लाइक अंदर से कि भाई आगे बढ़ो यार, लाइक इट लिटरली फेल्ट लाइक कि वो लोग अटके हुए हैं स्टोरी में डूइंग दोस थिंग्स. सो या दैट्स व्हाट आई फेल्ट अबाउट द फर्स्ट हाफ.
आई थिंक I mean I agree जो सिनेमा ने कहा. हाँ मतलब लोग मैंने देखा काफी ज्यादा लोग कंप्लेन कर रहे हो पूरा जो आई थिंक दिशा पत्नी के साथ जो पूरा जो सीक्वेंस था, दैट वाज यू नो वेरी अननेसेसरी. बट उससे ज्यादा मेरे को पता नहीं क्यों एक्सटेंडेड और बोरिंग जो वो प्रभास का फुल इंट्रो सीन था वो लगा. मतलब जो अननेसेसरी फैन सर्विस उसमें हो रही थी और जो जिस तरह से पता नहीं जिस तरह से वो एक्शन सीन पूरा शूट किया था इतना आउट ऑफ द फिल्म लग रहा था, एकदम अलग लग रहा था बाकी फिल्म से कि वो मतलब बिल्कुल भी मुझे लग रहा था अच्छा खत्म होगा, अच्छा नहीं अब वो ऊपर चले गए, फिर वहां से जंप करके आ रहे हैं स्लोमो में, फिर उसके बाद नीचे और कंटिन्यू हो रहा है. मतलब वो कितना ज्यादा लंबा था. आई थिंक सबसे ज्यादा मेरे को प्रॉब्लम उस सीन में हुई. और फिर उसके बाद वो जो गाने वाला पूरा सीन था भाई वो दिशा के साथ, वो तो खैर था ही बहुत ही अजीब. मतलब ऐसा लग रहा था कि वो सडनली कोई एकदम सेट पे आ गए वो वर्ल्ड छोड़ के. और
आई एक्चुअली रेड अ ट्वीट की लग रहा था सडनली मोहित सूरी की पिक्चर चालू हो गई है.
हाँ भाई वो. और आई थिंक नोना यू हैड ट्वीटेड कि उस सीन में दिखाया था लाइक इट शोड कि इतना आसान है कॉम्प्लेक्स में घुसना, जबकि मतलब उससे पहले इतना यू नो टफ दिखा रहे थे.
That scene not just visually is inconsistent to the film, but narratively it actually undercuts what you're trying to establish. That complex is such a big thing, and it was so easy for him to get in, and not just get in as a worker, but then just explore the whole thing. You know, if it was established that it was actually him imagining, he just saw from outside, but it was him imagining all of this, and his time was up, and then they threw him out. That could have actually saved the whole thing. Because I feel everything you guys said, right? I agree somewhere, but I feel everything that was shown was needed to establish something. So I'll come to that. But in that scene, you wanted to establish what's it there in complex, what his character needs to see and become more motivated that I want to get into complex.
Actually,
that was the whole point of that moment. But it didn't work because first of all you undercut the point that anyone can get in complex. You know, he can just leave their post and just roam around and create chaotic things, which I think on paper feels, and I thought that will actually cause Deepika's character to run away. Like it will lead into that, because that's what we are thinking, like how she'll be get out and what will happen. But maybe that will be too much.
Yeah, actually मैंने नहीं सोचा था, like that would have been really good कि like प्रभास का किसी तरह अंदर घुसना would have let Deepika out. But like अभी तक मेरा यही ओपिनियन था, like everybody was planning that whole दिशा वाला सीन एंड पूरा कॉम्प्लेक्स वाला. दिशा का तो आई एग्री कि वो कॉम्प्लेक्स में घुसना किसी और तरीके से भी दिखा सकते थे, उसके लिए एक सीन बर्बाद करने की जरूरत नहीं थी वो दिशा वाला. बट अभी तक आई वॉज ऑफ द ओपिनियन कि कॉम्प्लेक्स का दिखाना मे भी जरूरी था, बिकॉज इतने टाइम से ये बंदा हाइप कर रहा है कि कॉम्प्लेक्स जाना है एंड ऑल. and you need to give to the audiences कि अच्छा ये है complex में जो कि इतना obsess हो रहा है. But like when you said अभी कि अगर वो ना दिखाते तो मैं भी ज़्यादा curiosity रहती, तो I guess that is a better option कि मतलब maybe एक scene ऐसा रख देते which is totally about कि मतलब कोई भैरवा सा पूछ रहा है कि ऐसा है क्या वहाँ पे जो कि तो एकदम पागल हो रखा है उसके लिए, and maybe वो ऐसे dialogue में description देता है या कुछ तो देता है, and हमारी curiosity बढ़ती कि we want to see this in the next part.
Even in the first scene he says, right, I was dreaming about complex.
हाँ,
जो ट्रेलर में जो सीन था, even I actually thought, all that will be a dream, him dreaming. Even here, just because, when they throw him out, he's in his uniform. But when they catch him, he's in this suit. So there's actually a way you can show that he's, working. He saw, through that lift, he saw all of it. He's not working, he's just sleeping and, dreaming, and they caught him and just throw him out. Like that just solves the whole thing. Like you can let it go because it's a dream. You can just let all go. Like the point, there's a thing, right? Then they show the beauty. The music is very, sad in a sense. I don't know. Notice me. I just came back watching it second time. So music is very sad. So when he enters a party scene, also, no, it's very sad to show the lavishness to compare to what we saw till now. The food is there. The lady who's dancing for them is like as if she's crying. So he's creating this mood to show irony of what the world is. And then we cut to the beats coming in and it's starting for a music beat. The dance didn't work for me, man.
अरे नहीं
Just didn't.
At least हाँ, like अच्छा party song होता तो समझ में आता. अच्छा party song
Nato, if it was Nato, I would agree. Like, but first of all, this and then they just make everyone.
तब भी I wouldn't have agreed. यार वो इतना place था यार.
Exactly.
It just didn't land that moment, and I think
तुम आराम से बीच पे पकड़वाते हुए दिखा सकते थे कि वहाँ पे आगे निकाल के चले गए. वो डांस का I don't know like. दिशा ने कुछ आर्ग्यू किया होगा कि इतना कम करा रहे हो, I don't know.
No, but even that scene, no, where Prabhas like, I have 1 hour, why not waste it here, and just catch Disha and he takes her and she's like, what did you do? You're always like this, Are you are control, your body is in your control. So, those are these, certain moments where I feel inexperience of Nag Ashwin to make such a huge film. Like he wants this, but how to make it convincing that, and like it could have been that Disha also wants to explore and then she, gets away at the end and then we never see her. I'm sure she'll come back later in the other films. Someone I think said in the chat that they forget about Disha. It was Rohit, yeah. So that
actually I feel like in Nag Ashwin maybe like this was just one of the things which was like trappings of Telugu cinema or like Indian cinema in general.
Yeah.
ये चीजें तुम्हें like as a fan service, maybe he had other ideas, technical ideas कि ये complex में घुसेगा जो भी, but he would have thought कि maybe we need a break, थोड़ा comedic या थोड़ा light break in such heavy exposition.
That
maybe I don't know.
That's the thing, right? The balance he has to get. I think that's what happened with Rajamouli, right? He made Bahubali 1 is very much a Telugu film going pan-India. Whereas I feel Bahubali 2 is very much a pan-Indian film. Because he removed those, very eccentric Telugu cinema thing. Because first one has a item number, The second one doesn't have any item number. They remove all of that. Even if it wasn't there, I don't know if they changed the script because I think they shot a lot of Bahubali 2 beforehand only.
30-40%.
Yeah, but Bahubali 1, there are moments which, I don't like that. When he romances with Tamanna, it's not a great moment.
That was just fan service.
So there's a lot of even the effects, even the high moments are not done very well. But that's totally contrast of Bahubali 2, which I really enjoy more because the start of the film itself with those 3D, visuals to, kind of give you a recap of first Bahubali. From there itself, the quality has gone up. The storytelling has become very straightforward, what he wants to do, the things he wants to show. Even the comedy works in that. The whole segment of, him trying to romance, being dumb and all of, like that part also works, in a sense. So I think that's what this film, he did all these things which he think he wanted to because he's capturing this audience who are not used to such films. So that Masi movement. Okay, let's come to that introduction scene of Prabhas. What I feel that the direction, the action choreography in that scene more overall, and even the way it's executed is actually killing Prabhas's performance. I am someone who felt Prabhas did a great job in the film because he did something we have not seen him do. There's a moment when he's fighting Ashwathama where he does everything and Ashwathama still gets up and he's like, come on. And there's so much physical performance there, which is, the camera is doing disservice because it's not very clear. The sound is not working. The music you're giving in that moment is not working. And even the introduction scene, you start with his intro, that his song, Bhairava's theme, then cut to some other song, then cut to Bhujji's theme, then cut to again that song, then cut to that old song.
Playing that French music जब वैसे उड़ते हुए dream करता है just after the whole Punjabi vibe of the song was the worst decision.
It's a mess. It's a whole music is a lot of moments. When they are being chased, Deepika and all, they are in the second half, and the Anna Ben's character, I forgot the name, Kaira. She's fighting the guy, the other bounty hunter, and there's no music. It feels so off. Even today when I watched the movie, I'm like something is missing in the scene.
I don't know whether it was music or overall editing, but चाहे action हो या फिर जो एक banter होता है ना constant action के बीच में, या फिर ऐसे भी, there were so many moments जहाँ पे there were मतलब एक silence आ जा रहा था बीच में. Like जैसे समझ लो you wanna have that Marvel kind of a back to back punches वाला moment, चाहे action में हो या फिर dialogues में, and तुम edit इस हिसाब से कर रहे हो कि बीच में एक silence आ जा रहा है, एक मतलब वो कहते हैं ना timing, timing skip हो जा रही है. So I felt that throughout the film.
The awkward moments.
Especially in that Anna Ben वाले sequence.
There are many such moments, where I felt Bhujji is underutilized. Like there are moments where the silence could be filled by Bhujji saying something. Because constantly Bhujji and Bhairava are in touch what to do. Even in when Ashwatthama and Bhairava are fighting, there's no talking. He's not saying anything. Like how Spider-Man keeps talking in the fight. He could have done that. He was doing like, "Arey budde, arey tu acha ladta hai," and then it was just action. It's just how you say the flow. There's no pattern. There's no how to say it.
Like graph up and down sort of.
At certain moments, when
like edit to tight nahi tha.
Yeah, same. The first moment also, first of all, the action doesn't work in the introduction scene. Him just pushing them and they're so heavy, the costume इतना heavy है, वो इतना धीरे हिल रहे हैं, वो लग रहा है, वो गिर रहे हैं, बहुत it's so clumsy. It's like throwing. It's not fun. It's not fun to watch.
Actually, मतलब I thought कि introduction sequence ऐसा होना चाहिए जो मतलब भैरवा का physical prowess नहीं, उसका like mental prowess दिखाया कि ये con man type है, उसका action भी con man type होता है, like the way he started कि ऐसे उसके illusions आ जा रहे हैं and all that. तो maybe like and like coming to Prabhas, like हो सकता है मैं गाली खाऊं सारे, हो सकता है कि obviously खाऊंगा Prabhas fan से. Like first of all I wanna mention कि I have huge respect for the guy कि despite on paper इतना ज़्यादा like any other star कोई ऐसा दिखता है कि उसका रोल इतना है and बाकियों का ऐसा है, तो he would have felt insecure very easily.
Like getting beaten by Amitabh Bachchan twice in the film.
Actually, मैं पता वो sequence के बाद I was like प्रभास हार गया. Like I mean मुझे literally दिमाग में आ गया था कि ये तेलुगु में नहीं चलने वाली पिक्चर, क्योंकि प्रभास fans would be like कि ये हार रहा है बंदा. And जब तक climax नहीं हुआ ना, I was like कि ये हम सबको पसंद आने वाली general audience को, but प्रभास fans are gonna ban this film because इसमें प्रभास का कुछ है ही नहीं. But even overall film को देखा जाए तो you would agree कि कोई भी स्टार ऐसे insecure हो जाता, but he still back the film unconditionally. I totally respect him for that. But as you said कि प्रभास की like कुछ जगह performance बहुत अच्छी दिख रही थी, but it wasn't captured well, edited well. मतलब maybe मेरे से miss हो गया, I don't know. But throughout the film I was like कि मुझे शायद आदि पुरुष से थोड़ा सा इसका ऊपर दिख रहा है, बाकी मुझे एक्टिंग में सब कुछ ज़्यादा बढ़िया लगा नहीं, to be honest. Like most of the time I felt he was very laid back and he was like in his performance, तो obviously मैंने dialogue वाला पूरा बता दिया and even in his moments and all. But again ये कोई body shaming वाली बात नहीं, उस angle से मैं नहीं कह रहा, but he needs to reduce weight. Like
No,
he
I
really
think
needs to reduce weight.
yeah, I think someone mentioned it because there are some moments where he looks very fit. You know,
हाँ.
so I think
Even जो I think
during
अमिताभ का जो first fight scene था, he's fight like वो proper fight scene
yeah,
था,
because
choreographed
you know
fight
this
scene था.
energy, he's running so fast,
Exactly.
he's grabbing
And the
him.
intro scene he's doing like that's the kind of action that you would expect Amitabh Bachchan to do. Just move a
Yeah.
hand like this, and that's like that. He's doing that, and वो बहुत
You
ही
know, I have to
ज़्यादा-
say all the action movements where we see that body double or a CG double of Amitabh just rushing, and that energy is it pumps me up, man. When he hits, when he grabs Prabhas and throws him, when he captures the missile and he throws it back. Like these are the epic
when he
moments.
stops Bujji, when he stops
dude.
Bujji, भाई
And
theater
that
पागल हो गया था.
that tire just trying.
That is one of the moments जहाँ पे बहुत अच्छे से build up हुआ था. Like first half में तुमने बुज्जी को ऐसे एकदम दिखा दिया badass, and then you have Ashwatthama stopping him with his one leg. Like that's how you build it up.
Yeah, Bujji ko badass दिखाया. Like I felt Bujji. Okay. One more thing. Did you see the animated version, the 2 episodes?
नहीं यार, मैंने सोचा था but I was like कि नहीं.
I will tell you, they did the same thing in the animated version of establishing, and it is to the T perfect. The whole setup of his character running through the city, like that should have been the introduction scene, that they're running through trying to capture him, but they're just standing.
Introduction.
Yeah, Bhairava's introduction also. The first episode is Bhairava's introduction, and by the end he meets Bujji, and at the second part is them interacting for the first time and like building up, and then we again have a chase sequence and all in the city. So that is energy, the things are falling, destruction is happening, and the character saying, so watching that, maybe that helped me understand what is happening in this scene. It gave me context. I knew the context already, what kind of character he is. I think the animated version does a great job in establishing that.
Maybe हो सकता है Nag Ashwin had this idea but budget issues की वजह से.
Yeah, definitely.
I
But
think so. वो
live action
literally
is.
जिधर समझ वो भैरवा का जो इंट्रोडक्शन था, यू कैन टेल कि अच्छा ये सेट है, यहाँ सेट खत्म हो रहा है, यहाँ उनका ग्रीन स्क्रीन
And we only go up, like we only go up in the scale.
ऊपर जाते नीचे आते, बट वही वो एक छोटा एरिया है बस वैसा.
एंड मतलब इसमें एक आखिरी पॉइंट लाइक प्रभास वाले में, लाइक हो सकता है पूरी मूवी में आई माइट हैव मिस की एनर्जी उसकी दिख रही हो ना दिख रही हो, बट जहाँ पर सबसे ज्यादा मुझे वो चीज खटकी, लाइक मे बी ही नीड्स टू फिजिकली इम्प्रूव हिमसेल्फ, was the Karn introduction. Like वो जो there are just a couple of shots जहाँ पे you see his face and you see him as Karn, but वो कहते हैं ना एक तेज होता है चेहरे पे. You can see that in Vijay Deverakonda's face. Like जब वो अर्जुन के गेटअप में आता है ना, the first shot ऐसे तो पूरा पैन होता है, you feel कि अरे भाई अर्जुन आ गया. या फिर even if he's not fitting for you, but still you would know कि like वो एनर्जेटिक लग रहा है, उसके चेहरे पे एनर्जी दिख रही है, एंड ही इज लुकिंग लाइक अ वॉरियर. बट प्रभास को देख के मुझे वो कर्ण वाली फीलिंग आई नहीं, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. लाइक द होल स्टेजिंग, द होल डायरेक्शन ऑफ द मोमेंट, रियली आई वाज सोल्ड ऑन इट. दैट वाज बिकॉज ऑफ नाग अश्विन्स डायरेक्शन. बट एज एन एक्टर आई गेस प्रभास को एटलीस्ट उस पोर्शन के लिए वेट रिड्यूस करना चाहिए था थोड़ा. उसके चेहरे पे लगी नहीं रहा था.
Talking about the weight thing is actually he has some problem, a health problem, which I think in Adipurush he was going through that. So in Adipurush it's very visible. His he's not very fit, and his kind of bloated face is bloated. And I think someone mentioned that he had a health issue, and now he recovered. So if you see like some portions, he looks very fit in the film. So I think he's become better. So
I heard कि मतलब Reddit पे ऐसा कुछ था कि he is an alcoholic या पता नहीं, I don't know. Rumors थे.
That I don't know, but yes, the animated sick. But Vijay Deverakonda, like even someone says he ruined it with Arjun, but ruled with. Oh, sorry. Ruled with. Sorry. I felt a bit. Maybe that's Arjun. That he felt a bit like what do you say? A bit prideful character. I think how I have envisioned and watched in previous variations of Arjun is that he's a soft, like not soft as in he's more he's a how do you put it, humble. When you see this version of him, he doesn't look humble. He looks like he went 10 foot behind. I felt
there's this parallel thing ki the vision that Nag Ashwin has for this sequel of Mahabharata is maybe it's going to contrast the Mahabharata we know. Like प्रतीक बुराडे करके एक यूट्यूबर है, मैंने ऐसी एक वीडियो देखा, and like I know like that guy is famous for telling stuff जो mostly like उतना sense नहीं बनाता है, and you would be like इतना extreme क्यों होना है, but I was like maybe like there is a valid point here कि जो नाग अश्विन का vision है of let's say Arjun you said कि maybe like he wants to show जो ट्रेजेडी कर्ण के साथ हुई, like एक there are so many approaches to महाभारत. Honestly speaking मैंने महाभारत उतने अच्छे से ना पढ़ी है ना देखी है, मुझे उतने एस्पेक्ट्स उतने डिटेल में नहीं मालूम है obviously, but what I've heard is कि कर्ण को बहुत लोग as a villain देखते हैं, not proper villain but like somebody एंटी हीरो और ग्रे कैरेक्टर, एंड बहुत लोग उसे एज अ विक्टिम देखते हैं. सो द पॉइंट इज कि नाग अश्विन का जो महाभारत सीक्वल वाला जो एक पूरा अप्रोच है वो शायद कर्ण को एज अ विक्टिम देखना, मे बी अश्वत्थामा का जो एक रिडेम्पशन वाला आर्क है उसे लाना, एंड मे बी अर्जुन का थोड़ा एक अर्जुन को एज अ इंस्टेड ऑफ पॉजिटिव एज अ ग्रे कैरेक्टर प्रेजेंट करना, मे बी लाइक दैट्स हिज विजन फॉर दिस महाभारत.
No, but there's also this idea that Arjun like is told to be the best warrior, but he's actually not. There was an Eklavya who was cut off to make Arjun the greatest. Then there was a Karna who there was no way to defeat him, so they had to use what do you call it, not betrayal, how to say
Shadyantra.
Shamdam Dandve, that thing. Like make him distract and then kill him, because there's no way to directly kill him even after he had removed all his his kavach and everything. So there is this thought that people look at Pandavas being, because they themselves caused a lot of things to because of their own actions.
मतलब सदगुरु का एक शॉट है, आई डोंट नो आपने देखा होगी नहीं, एंड जब मैंने वो शॉट देखा ना, शॉट एज इन लाइक यूट्यूब शॉट, तो जो बोल रहे थे
मूवी में सदगुरु which shot is he talking about?
नहीं वो जो यूट्यूब शॉट में देख रहा था ना, एंड जस्ट आफ्टर द फिल्म आई वाज लाइक अगर यही एग्जैक्ट डायलॉग फिल्म में होते व्हाइल कर्ण का रिवील, तो इट वुड हैव ब्लोन द थिएटर्स 2 times. Was like उनका सदगुरु का ऐसा था कि मतलब वो he was quoting Krishna जी what he said to Arjun. He basically said कि Arjun you are not the greatest warrior and all. तो Arjun was like कि कृष्ण जी आप मेरे से ये कह रहे हो, how can you say this to me? तो he is like कि कर्ण is so powerful कि अगर उनके पास उनका कवच और एक और चीज जो उनसे छीन ली गई थी, I can't remember that. वो बालीज कुछ उसे कहते हैं, हाँ. तो ही वाज लाइक कि अगर वो उससे नहीं छीनी जाती तो ही कुड इजीली डिफीट यू, he could easily defeat all the opponents, he could easily defeat Indradev himself, and he can Indradev ko chodo, he can defeat me, like Krishna ji said this, he can defeat me. That was like fuck यार. और ऊपर से उसमें एडिट भी ऐसा था शॉर्ट में कि एकदम स्लो मोशन में कर्ण का पूरा दिखा रहा है, लाइक यार ये फिल्म में होता तो भाई.
अरे in the movie also they show one scene I think in the beginning with the whole animated thing. Oh, that have to talk about, man, the introduction of the film, from the producer logo to getting dude, so good,
like such that was like मतलब उसका जो पूरा एनिमेशन था, आई डोंट नो से एनिमेशन कहेंगे बट लाइक वो जो नहीं होता बेसिकली स्टैचू के फॉर्म में दिखाते हैं, जो भी उसे कहते हैं, आई कांट रिकॉल द नेम. दैट वाज सो लाइक द मोमेंट. उस समय तक ना पूरा थिएटर पैक था, एंड यूजुअली ऐसा क्या होता है कि ऐसा थिएटर पैक होता है तो वो सेंसर सर्टिफिकेट पे भी चिल्लाते हैं, हर चीज पे चिल्लाने लगते हैं, बट पूरा साइलेंट था. बट द मोमेंट वो ट्रांजिशन हुआ लोगो से स्टैचू, भाई सब पागल हो गए उसी वर्ड से कि श्री अमिताभ बच्चन लिख के आ रहा है वीडियो देख के, इट्स गोना गो क्रेजी. And like the moment I went crazy, I was like this is gonna be different. जब Krishna जी appeared, I was like एक मिनट, I didn't envision this film like this कि अच्छा हो
इतना stylized look.
I will be a bit little nitpicky होऊंगा मैं यहाँ पे. I didn't totally enjoy the scene. I felt the dialogue writing could have been better. Because there were some moments where there should have been emphasis on some words, but it's said in a low tone. That maybe it's the dubbing thing, that dubbing, because you're just saying differently, you're saying more words, you have to say quickly, and that I felt in that scene. But I was there's a reel coming of the TV show is to come, Star Plus, where Krishna is giving the shrap to Ashwathama, and the way he delivers that, no, like you feel the goosebump in that shot. You know, they have done that music edit and all to make it look more epic, but you know, like it had the epic feeling when he shows up. You know, and the music comes in and he walks, even with the shadow. Like both times, people are like, "Oh, Krishna is showing up," and I like, yeah. But I like the fact they didn't like show his face, and I also like the fact that it's a dark-skinned person, because that's one thing is talked a lot about. You know, like in live action representation, we have seen many times very fair-skinned, but actually if you read up a lot, it's
it should be dark skin or at least like brown skin. And you know, like जो डिसीजन था ना कि उनका चेहरा नहीं दिखाएंगे, like obviously एक तो ये बात है कि तुम कास्ट करते तो किसको करते, and you know like कृष्ण जी would have had a face या जो भी, but उससे ज्यादा you know like him being faceless, जो एक पावर होनी चाहिए ना कि it's his face is in your imagination, तो वो like while watching the scene you are like कि okay I am witnessing God ऐसा, जब उसमें एक face आ जाता है तो you are like कि okay like second thoughts में you will like it's an actor playing him, but अभी जब चेहरा नहीं दिखाया you are like okay it's Krishna ji himself.
Like you know, if you, it's very weird that if you watch or like if you read and go through Mahabharata, you will hate Ashwathama's character, you know, and then this film when Amitabh Bachchan later comes in, you want to root for him. But suddenly, because I love the interaction, like मैं तुम्हारा प्रवचन नहीं सुन, मैं अर्जुन नहीं हूँ, तुम्हारा प्रवचन सुनो, मारना है तो मार दो. I'm like yes, this is like you want this kind of you know dialogue bazi with him, because that's what you want, because that's what he is. He's against him, you know. Like Karna would never say something like this. He was very respectful. Karna would never say that to you know Lord Krishna, but Ashwatthama would, Duryodhan would. You know, so I love to like they go there. But what do you think about the face replacement, the de-aging of Amitabh Bachchan?
I forgave it.
Yeah, even I let it go. I didn't care. I was happy like I got it.
I think just the first shot जहाँ पे वो आँखें ऐसे खोल,
it's calling the Brahmastra.
And then but then बाकी पूरे scene में I was like okay ठीक है.
Then actually that scene I liked the best. That shot is the best I think. Because I think what happened in the climax when we go back, when Ashwathama is getting up. So what happens in they use I think deep fake. So if you move the head like this, no, the perspective goes away. So suddenly it will glitch. So when he's getting up, no, he's getting up like this. You know, I could see that. So that's a technical thing. You know, you notice.
ऐसा moment हो रहा था, you could clearly see कि okay, technology थोड़ी वो पड़ गई. But guys, you know, like I forgave it. I was like, "ठीक है तुम इतना कर रहे हो."
I forgave. Yeah, I didn't care. I think apart from that, maybe the cheetah moment. There are few scenes where you could easily tell it's a green screen shot. It's not matching. But apart from that, there was nothing as if like, oh, this is just too horrible. I don't think there was anything like that. Not cheetah. What do you call it? Sabertooth.
Oh, Saber. Oh, okay. हाँ वो तो बहुत छोटे टाइम नहीं. My most favorite scene was you know the whole extraction वाला जो था. I think वहाँ पे like it was flawless जो पूरे VFX थे.
Extraction वाला.
जो वो क्या बोलते हैं cord आके ऐसे पेट पे लगता था लड़कियों.
Baby अच्छा the serum scene.
अच्छा okay. Serum.
वो लगा when the Gandhiv when they were removing. Even that was cool, man.
And actually, you know, another angle to this, like Mahabharata of the antagonists or grey characters, कि जो Arjun का गांधीव है, ultimately it was in the hands of Kali, Kamal Hassan. So I don't know.
Do you think he is Kali? Like there are theories that maybe he is not.
Yeah.
I don't know about the theories, but while watching the film, मेरे दिमाग में तो यही था कि like he is obviously Kali.
I would like to see a Wonder Woman twist. The first Wonder Woman twist where it's like there is no actually Kali. It's the humans who are, you know, become creating. So what do you say? They have become so evil in their mind that they collectively what they've caused to the earth and people. That's what Kali is. It's a metaphor than just a one character has, you know, destroyed everything.
नहीं, आई वॉज गोइंग बाय द डायलॉग जो कृष्ण जी ने शुरुआत में बोलते हुए दिखाया है कि जब कली मेरा जन्म रोकना,
Yeah.
जब कली इकलौता होगा जो मेरा जन्म रोकेगा, ऐसा। तो
उसको इतनी शक्ति होगी वो मेरा जन्म रोक दे, समथिंग लाइक दैट.
हाँ, एंड ही यूज द वर्ड कली कि जब
Yeah,
कली
yeah.
इकलौता होगा मेरा जन्म रोक देगा, तो लाइक यही जन्म रोकना चाहता है, तो मे बी ही इज कली.
But I loved Kamal Hassan's performance, because that's again a great scene, written, well executed, which sets up the villain very perfectly. And it's not I like his dialogues. If you interpret them, he's kind of what do you say? He's kind of a Thanos kind of character, where he thinks that it's his duty to correct the world around him. You know, it's not like I want to just dominate and I just want to be the greatest. So it's not that that what do you call it? Narcissism and that kind of villain. You know, he's not that. He's like, men did what they did. You know, they were destroying Earth. I took Earth, like resources, wasting resources. I took those resources from them. You know, so he has this kind of, and that ending is like, I will go myself.
That
was
I can do this myself.
But yeah, I love.
I expected him to look much younger after taking that one drop. Like I thought they could have gone a bit
Check
less.
my story. Check my story. Check my story. I shared a concept art. Yeah, but it was rejected concept art. Like they didn't go with it.
Okay.
Hey. I'll just mute it.
Oh.
I use so many songs. I'll just show it on. Arey. Guys, look at my camera.
This kind of thing. पता नहीं, maybe second film में ऐसा कुछ makeover.
No, it's a rejected one, so they didn't go with this. I think it kind of gives a very Egyptian vibe. Maybe that's why they didn't go with it. But like they. No, then he wouldn't have shared it, no?
Say
he wouldn't have shared it.
Acha, like he's somebody who has worked on the film.
Yeah.
Achha,
so he says that it's a rejected concept, but I'm like, it's a win-win for me that I'm part of such a small part of such a big film.
Achha, I was quite confused. He like Yaskin ka like future plan kya hai? Like he wants to make himself more powerful than Kalki and begin his yoga. Yahi plan hai na uska? Instead of the Sati Yoga.
Actually,
it's not clear. Yeah, it's not clear.
They still not reveal like why exactly does he need the full serum? Like, is it just to get?
But that is obvious. Now he became a. See, he said no. I'm creating. I want to create something that fixes human beings. That's a dialogue, right? That you wanted to know, right? What's Project K? I'm the flaw in human beings. I want to fix that. So maybe he wants to. What he's creating is that he wants to make everyone. I don't know, but I don't want that. The theme of kə.l.kɪ is great, but I don't want to delve into it a direct. What do you say? Interpretation of it. Oh, there's gonna be a avatar and there's gonna be a villain and they'll fight and it's the end. That's very very surface level or depthless.
You can have both the things. कि like कली और कल्कि को ऐसा फाइट करते हुए दिखाओ, लाइक कली को ऐसा एंटागनिस्ट दिखाओ ही कि जिसको मार ओर के एकदम क्लाइमैक्स हो सकता है, बट एट द सेम टाइम जो ह्यूमन रेस वाली चीज यू सेड, दैट कैन बी द लास्ट plan of Kali.
I want it to be a war of ideology, not war of like power. I don't want Dishum and whoever is stronger. I want
like maybe you can have that battle as the physical battle and फिर you realize कि अच्छा नहीं, we haven't won yet. तो आइडियोलॉजिकली हमें पहले ये जो कली का ये जो पॉइंट था इसको डिफीट करना पड़ेगा, देन वी विल लाइक टेक ओवर हिम, ऐसा टाइप.
Rahul says he wants to create more advanced humans like him, as we can see clones, and make himself god and rule over low level humans. Again, I don't think from his dialogue you feel like he wants to rule. That's his ultimate plan.
I'll be disappointed.
I think he's already ruling,
to be honest.
Yeah,
वो already rule कर ही रहा है.
I mean, it should be ऐसा ही कुछ कि something different than this.
Sai says Hitler complex है उसमें. Yeah, so like that's the idea, right? That's what like he believes that it's upon him to fix the world. You know, it's not.
हाँ ऐसा होना चाहिए इसका. Rather than Hitler, it should be like I'm the savior ऐसा type.
Yeah. That he is
should be
Kalki.
like-
That he believes he is Kalki. Like,
हाँ.
that's a cool idea.
Maybe that is a cool one.
But you know, I don't think they'll do it. Okay, I think we have gone off course. Let us come back to. We'll talk about the future later. But I want to talk about which one. Okay, one thing I'm not a fan of, and I think it's a big issue with the whole film, and I think it's because of the time of they didn't have enough. But there is a visual inconsistency because we start with the animated, you know, Mahabharata, then we cut to a scene of live action. So it's very similar design wise, you know. And then we cut to a animation 2D animation which is very different again, and then we cut to our, you know, the future we are gonna see. So I love the animation part with the music, Keshava, you know, and everything they are showing what is he didn't, you know, interfere and just let it all happen.
Even lyrics are all about that, like,
Yeah, it's about Kalyug coming up, you know, it's building up with all the, you know, atrocities and everything wrong that went on, and no one
was
came to
nice,
save.
though.
You know, I love the visual, but I felt it's not matching with the visuals we are seeing overall, which I think is a small thing. But
जब
even
भी पता है ऐसा कुछ हो रहा था, I used to think कि maybe बेचारे को बजट नहीं मिल रहा होगा. मैं बस यही सोच रहा था.
no, yeah, that is
Oh,
like very well crafted animated sequence, the 2D animated thing.
actually, 2D
It's-
वाला.
it's-
अच्छा.
It's,
But it would have been less expensive. At least compared
maybe
to
less work, less artists working on it, definitely. But as conceptually is not like anything
conceptually
less,
it's not inferior.
but I was saying even if you see dialogues, the dubbing is not great. You know, the way interval happens, it's you know how well it is designed in a RRR, not RRR, RRR. Like, you know, in the beginning when the credits start to appear in the start, you hear that music for the movie, and it builds up. Then first R, then second R, then third R, then the interval. You know. So
यार I cannot forget वो title लिख के आता है
oh
ना.
dude,
Like,
dude, I still watch videos of people in US theater reactions of people in US 4 months after the release, that they are going crazy over that, you know, when they join hands and
भाई अपने
RRR
आगे
comes.
सिंगल स्क्रीन वाला माहौल बन गया था वहाँ पे.
Oh भाई क्या हुआ था. But yeah, I felt like that's there's small things, you know, subtitles not available for movie, the dubbing is not that great. You know, the interval comes, the credits goes really fast, you know, it feels very choppy, like they didn't get enough time to complete the film. I feel like film never gets complete, just gets released, you know. So that's
I guess
you know,
महेश भट्ट ने बोला था, पता नहीं ऐसा ही कुछ.
पता नहीं यार, I have seen many people say uses around, you know, US ये सब जगह, so that's how I caught it up. But I feel here it feels very unpolished.
Actually like initial scene में like introduction में वो talk ना कि वो dialogue वगैरह बहुत एकदम और better हो सकते थे. I guess editing में भी एक fault था. Because if you see the scene again ना, like मैंने Twitter पे दोबारा देखा, then I noticed, and even in the while watching the film,
Twitter पे दोबारा देखा.
हाँ,
Dude, everyone is posting the whole movie.
हाँ, actually I thought ये सब पे stack रहेगा, but nobody is doing anything. तो anyways, like मैंने देखा and I just felt कि जो कृष्ण जी के dialogue थे, they were edited really fast. Like जो बीच में pauses थे and all, they cut it throughout. तो ऐसा लग रहा है वो बहुत जल्दी में बोल रहे हैं.
Yeah.
ऐसा type.
No, even
you said the dialogue thing, but मैंने तेलुगु with subtitles देखी थी, तो मेरे को वो feel आई नहीं थी. तो
lucky person.
Actually issue मैंने बहुत लोगों का, बहुत यूट्यूबर से सुना है कि they didn't get subtitles and all. I don't know इस बार क्यों हुआ.
वो तो यार एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम. I don't know why अभी तक फिक्स नहीं हुई, जब हर कोई बना रहा है पैन इंडियन फिल्म्स, तो like it's high time कि ये चीज तो फिक्स हो ही जानी चाहिए all over the country.
Are, you know, one thing I want to talk about and want to know your thoughts is the context of this film coming out, because this is maybe what Star Wars did for Hollywood, right? This is our Star Wars movement where, you know, we unleash a beast, we unleash a new different version of storytelling. But the problem is when Star Wars happened, there was nothing like Star Wars. But when this is happening, there's already history, 50 years history of Star Wars. There's already Indians used to all that. There's already Hollywood just fed up of VFX now that they want something like Dune, which is shot in real locations, which is very different, you know. And now we are getting something, you know, very bombastic, visually stunning, you know, that it has that VFXy feel that Avengers gave when Avengers first came out, you know, that high. Now we are getting in an Indian context where we already have so much references of other things. So do you think the film is also fighting that? Because a lot of people are saying, oh, it's copied from there, it looks so bad. There's so many comments in the chat also that they just find it comedy and it was just copied and all of that. So do you think as Nag Ashwin, like, he's not just trying to create something of his own, but he has to even match the quality of what has already been out, you know, visually?
I think अगर overall Indian audience को देखा जाए ना, तो he shouldn't feel the pressure of matching up to Star Wars or other Hollywood stuff. I feel क्योंकि वो more or less वहाँ की audience के लिए matter करेगा. And you know, for even people like us, I don't know about you guys, but मेरे लिए तो मैं experience करता हूँ, like whenever a great visual spectacle comes out of Indian cinema, तो देखते वक्त I'm like कि यार इतनी सारी चीजें इस फिल्म में हैं which I've already seen in other movies, तो why is it exciting me too much? So maybe it's just like, you know, watching our people doing it and with our characters, with our culture and all. तो उसका जो high है, I think it can easily defeat any Star Wars legacy या जो भी हमने पहले देखा हो. And not even defeat, like, you know, ऐसा है कि हमारे दिमाग में वो चीज़ अब अलग है. And when we are seeing this, like throughout the film, जो dystopian land का जिस हिसाब से vision किया है ना नाग अश्विन ने, I somehow felt like कि it could have been much better. Like the way he envisioned कि dystopian world ऐसा दिखेगा, future काशी ऐसा होगा. I thought it was more or less like वही Hollywood का inspiration, like Hollywood का effect and whatever you have seen in those movies. I think if he would have gone by the grunts, जो ऐसा हमारे कल्चर में बताया गया चीज़ें, it would have worked much better. But still, like since he integrated महाभारत in such a beautiful way, तो वो सब I think माफ हो गए because ultimately तुमने हमें ये यूनिक चीज़ दे दी. So that's what I feel about the whole context कि आगे भी if he is able to manage this concoction, तो आगे भी nobody will really feel कि ये Star Wars को beat करेगा या नहीं करेगा and all. So yeah, that's what I feel.
I think वही है, मतलब हम दोनों एंजॉय कर सकते हैं कि वो स्टार वॉर्स टाइप का या हॉलीवुड का जो है वो भी एंजॉय कर सकते हैं. एंड भले ही जो भी हमारे यहाँ वो अटेम्प्ट कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक उसके लिए तो एंजॉय कर ही सकते हैं. एंड आई थिंक आई वुड से कि मे बी ब्रह्मास्त्र को मैं ज्यादा क्रेडिट दूंगा कि इट डिड दैट VFX गुड VFX वाला, you know, sort of film like experience जो कि थिएटर में जाके the full on जो मजा हमें वेस्टर्न सुपर हीरो मूवीज देख के आता है वैसा इंडियन कंटेक्स्ट में देखना. आई थिंक ब्रह्मास्त्र ने वो पहले किया एंड उसके ऊपर भी सेम प्रेशर था जो आई थिंक कल्कि के ऊपर जो अभी प्रेशर है. एंड आई थिंक
नहीं आप कंटिन्यू.
नहीं, आई थिंक मेरा मतलब ये था कि इट्स लाइक ये क्वेश्चन हमेशा आई थिंक नेक्स्ट 5-6 साल तक आएगा ईच टाइम ऐसी कोई फिल्म आएगी कि अरे ये तो मतलब हमने ऑलरेडी इसमें देखा है उसमें देखा है वैसा. तो वो जो लोग बोल रहे हैं वैसा उसमें क्या आई डोंट थिंक हम कुछ कर सकते हैं. बट आई होप कि इंडियन फिल्म मेकर्स जस्ट बिकॉज ऐसे क्वेश्चन उठते हैं उसके वजह से रोके ना. लाइक this should continue, we should make more movies like this and that's the only way it will improve and get better.
I feel कि जो प्रेशर है ना ये एक्चुअली उन फिल्मों पे आएगा which are trying to be like the West rather than movies which are trying to do something of their own. And
I mean जहाँ एक कल की एक गणपत भी वहाँ होएगी वैसा.
क्या नाम है?
Talking about the Star Wars वाला impact, I feel कि in terms of impact, not in terms of film का comparison, what Star Wars did in the US in terms of trend, I think it has already happened in India with Bahubali. Like that film has single-handedly changed the whole landscape. So in terms of impact,
that is the whole. I think the moment James Cameron and what's the other guy? Spielberg what they started the larger than life narratives. That I think Bahubali started the whole pan-Indian thing. Actually, you know, and the timing it happened, and then the influx of OTT, internet boom, you know, COVID, it was a catalyst, and everyone has internet now. everyone is connected. We all are connected. We can watch anything in anywhere. The accessibility is there.
Access.
That today in Delhi, no, Delhi, okay, maybe it used to release before also, but maybe in a smaller city and all, there Kalki is there. A Malayalam film is playing there. That's, I think, a big deal in itself.
Actually, I was wondering कि मतलब मैं जिस city से हूँ, it is like a tier 2, tier 3 के बीच की city, and I was like a couple of years before, I wouldn't have ever expected कि एक प्रभास की film इतना ज़्यादा like booking generate करेगी यहाँ पे, because after a very long time, after so many Bollywood releases, I'm seeing people being so hyped up for a film, like literally like grey हो रहे हैं theaters book my show पे यहाँ पे. And since it's a mass center, I'm very surprised कि now I feel कि कल की blockbuster होगी because एक mass center में it is getting so much love.
I think okay, I just want to say everyone in the chat also, we are talking in depth and we're talking about didn't worked and all of that, but overall I think we all said that what we got is an achievement. What we got to see in theater, what they pulled off, everyone from the actors to the the team behind it, to the producers to back the project like this, they all have, like, it's an achievement what they have done. But we, as someone who wants it to be better next time and want to improve and become a greater thing, that's what we are talking about today. And I think Shelly says movie gave me Star Wars vibes. Love that. So that's great. She's from US. What do you think about that copy concept artist from it? Okay. I think this. So what happened is, for the first trailer, the animated sequence of the production house that used like a concept art of a artist, which they did, which the artist says, I was not contacted. They just used it. Now that led to people saying that the whole film is copied and they just copied everything. But it's just that part which I'm sure. Which I'm sure that it was last moment they gave it to a studio, like create a sci-fi logo of a thing, so we want to attach it to a trailer, and they just did it, and they just took things from the internet and put it there and made it. I'm sure producers and all the actor didn't even know what has happened.
मैंने like ऐसे ही पता देखा है कहीं पे, and I checked it कि अच्छा actually में ऐसा ट्रेलर में है, and I almost tweeted about it, and then I saw कि अच्छा नहीं, ये production house का लोगो है. I was like, okay, maybe तब इसके लिए I shouldn't blame the whole film and the whole making of the film.
And people the whole film is already copied, Star Wars, everything. Now they've even copied like typical.
I don't know whether you have followed this thing, मतलब जो भी पूरा ऐसे हुआ, but there was a couple of Insta pages, मुझे literally उनको बोलने का मन कर रहा था कि cool down यार, इतना भी ज़्यादा तुम्हें exaggerate करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. And very famous Insta pages. I was like इतना भी मत करो यार, like एक स्टोरी मैंने भी डाली है, बट आई डिडंट पुट द होल फिल्म इन इट कि अब तो इट्स एन मोमेंट ऑफ अशेम फॉर अस एंड ऑल दैट.
There was this post now even I shared on my story, the whole thing of they were just dunking on the whole trailer that is just copy and nothing original and all of that. And I was like, actually, why did you even write this? And they were like, this is our unserious take, we're just having fun. I'm like, this is not having fun on the expense of someone else. Guys, 100 people watching, only 50 likes. Come on, guys, hit that like button so more people can join us for the discussion. But talking about something I talked about, what we were talking about before,
face reveal.
Guys, you heard it here for the first time. 1,000 likes and face reveal. But what we were talking about before, the its context of coming out when there's so much references. I feel there's also this reference of the storytelling, because just like Brahmastra, I think Brahmastra was weaker in that part because it was just following a typical hero's journey. Here also, I like the fact that it's not a typical hero's journey. It's very, you can say convoluted, but it's a complicated narrative with too many moving parts. Our hero is not just a hero; he's a grey shade character who is very selfish, and he's throughout that film. He doesn't change. It's not that he becomes a good guy at the end. Then we have Ashwatthama, who's under a curse. So it's itself, the narrative itself is very different than that. But for me, my favorite part, thematically, visually, but the first time we see Deepika's character, the way it's shot, she gets up, they eat food, they do this, she sleeps, she cuts that, mark, she gets up. Like that moment that's what, how you do sci-fi. That's how you show a world. I love every part, every bit of it. And that actually reminds me of Andor, the Star Wars series, which according to me and according to Varun also is the greatest Star Wars thing since the first films came out. Like Andor just took Star Wars to a level where nothing in Star Wars can reach there. They have peaked. They should stop now. So, and the storytelling of that, so we have reached a time today that is the aspiration of storytelling in a science fiction world. So I don't want this universe to take, small risk in telling the story. Oh, the hero comes and they defeat the villain and happy ending. I don't want that kind of, simple of, like Bahubali. What Bahubali does is that very simple story, simple characters, but epic scale. That's the complication. So the focus is on the complication, which is one thing. Everything else is simple, normal, easy stuff, but it's fun to watch because it's that epic scale. If it wasn't epic scale, or if everything was too convoluted and too complicated, too many characters, I'm not understanding who's who, then it falls flat. So they just focus on making it epic. Simple narrative. It's basically Mahabharata. Bahubali is basically Mahabharata. A very simplified version of it.
Actually, जो आपने point रखा ना, if you compare and deeply analyze मोहनजोदारो and Bahubali, तो यही point बहुत अच्छे तरीके से prove होगा of kind of making it more epic and striking that emotion the hardest you can with a simple approach to storytelling, but still उसे इस तरीके से तुमने रखा है कि you don't see it coming. Like कल्कि में मुझे यही चीज़ अच्छी लगी कि मतलब डम कह लो जो भी कह लो, but I didn't see that कर्ण वाला twist coming. I really thought कि प्रभास ऐसा ही है and उसको ऐसा ही दिखा रहे हैं, and they even referenced काल भैरव. तो I thought कि okay, he's gonna be काल भैरव and maybe आगे के parts में उसको ऐसा दिखाएंगे, but कर्ण I didn't expect it कि अच्छा महाभारत का इतना integral character उसको प्रभास के रूप में दिखा रहा है. तो I was
the fact they didn't make Prabhas Kalki itself actually, is a great move that they are thinking beyond just an actor. I think that's a problem with Bahubali's franchise, right? But without Prabhas and Bahubali, it doesn't work. No one cares about the world if Bahubali is not there in the story. It's like they tried to make a prequel series with the grandmother's character. I think Netflix spent 200 crores and they cancelled it because it's not working.
मैंने पूरी book पढ़ ली यार, मैं अभी तक
Shivagami. I have the book, I haven't read it. But again, that world is not stable. Like they didn't do anything. S.S. Rajamani didn't do anything to make the world work. It's the character that matters, nothing else.
He was trying to do that in the book. मतलब राजमौली ने लिखी है वो book, but like the book was trying to kind of build on that word, but of course the movie lagged it. But coming to like the hero's journey वाला point and Kalki, I feel कि Kalki में obviously like you can say कि वो अलग तरीके से approach किया उसको, but I feel कि उन्होंने hero's journey का शुरुआत दिखाया पूरी Kalki में. Like now the hero's journey begins.
Yeah, it is gonna be a like origin story of Kalki universe. We'll 10 films later, 10 years later or 20 years later, we'll be like, Arey, that first film was our favorite. I want after 30 years another YouTubers and fan lovers sitting making a YouTube live of whatever social media is that time and talking about KCU is dying after 50 films. They have lost the charm and they don't make good films. They peaked with the 30th film. Now they should stop making. I want that. I want that. They have gone woke. I want 20-30 years people talking about KCU like this. That's the dream.
Like proper video essays why KCU is failing.
Yeah. I want that.
वही तो main content होता है भाई.
Krishna
nothing better than MCU failing videos.
Krishna is saying, did you notice Tirupati Balaji's Vajra Kirat in Bani's museum? Yes, there's Hanuman's this also Gada. Like there are a lot of things if you notice in that moment.
Which museum?
Where the Gandha that is kept, the bow is kept. Yeah, Gandhi is kept. So they in the walls they are framed. Like they are kept there.
Actually, you know, like ये मैंने मतलब इसके बारे में ट्वीट किया था कि imagine अभी like we just had Ashwathama in this film and people are going crazy. अभी आगे they're going to introduce at least a couple of more
I saw your post.
Yeah. So
I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's.
You know, I do think that ये पूरे जो 3 घंटे की फिल्म थी, there is a very very great like 1.5 hour only Ashwathama version that you can make from this, which would be like a much cooler film than I think what we got.
You know, I was thinking like if you remove some scenes in the first half, it's not gonna change anything. You know, like as in. How to put it?
That's why they should be removed.
No. I'm saying no. Not in that sense. They are unnecessary. In a sense that how to put it? Like if you change those sequences or put some other element, what happens in the second half will not happen if first half doesn't follow that route. That's what I'm trying to say. Not that if you chop those scenes, it doesn't matter. No, I feel all these movements are there for a reason, but I feel some of the movements don't work because of inexperience of Nag Ashwin as making a film like this. And I feel, you know, I'm sure next film will be so much better because he has learned his lessons.
One of those moments was, I mean, I apologize if I pronounced it wrong. वो Brahmanandam उनका नाम है ना, Brahmanandam.
Yeah.
Comedian, a legendary comedian. Like again, like one of the things which really astonished me, कि एक tier 2 city में people went crazy when he entered the film.
Even today in my theater, people the moment he showed up, they were like, "Hey!" and they were laughing when
and I guess it was his first major pan-Indian क्या कहते हैं entrance. Like ऐसे इसको पहले किसी pan-Indian film में he hasn't been there.
Yeah.
तो like again वो scene मतलब I just felt कि again वो it didn't do justice to his legacy and it just felt flat. And even all the scenes, the whole gag वो किराएदार वाला वो it didn't work for me.
I like that dialogue. किराया कितना सुंदर शब्द है.
Again, that was because of his performance. And
that
delivery.
character is also in the animated version. So again, it's for us it's a setup if you have seen it. You know. You check it out. I think it will help when you make the video 7 months later. I'm sure more episodes will be out. You know, there can be an episode of Ashwathama and the small girl, Raya, of them like going around and him. You know, it's a fun combo, 2 characters combo. Because she calls him my teacher. I'm like, when did that happen? So I wonder if there's a, you know, like a spin-off narrative of them from the Mandir coming to save them. Maybe there's a whole episode they can have in the animated form. I think that'd be cool.
Maybe वो भी कोई character निकल जाए महाभारत का.
Oh, I'm sure. She is a character. I'm sure. I don't know which is a female version of the Chiranjeevis, but she's definitely gonna be a character.
And you know, like यही मैं सोच रहा था कि such a great move by Nag Ashwin कि he can show Mahabharat in the flashbacks. At the same time, he can play with the characters in his own fantasy as a dystopian. Like it's so seductive as a creator.
You know, see, that's something, you know, I feel Ramayana and all cannot be done in different interpretations because people have this populist view. And if it doesn't follow that, they will like get offended. So I think that's what Rajamouli did, right, with RRR. Ram gets in Lanka, captured in Lanka. And Sita sends Hanuman, which is Bhim, to go and get him. You know?
I didn't thought it this way.
Because they say it out loud, na? He's in Lanka, I'll bring him from Lanka. Ram jahan bhi hoga, main Sita se milwaunga. So they kind of he played with Ramayana. That Ram is captured in Lanka and Bhim or Hanuman is sent by Sita. And Sita gives him the locket. And he has to show it to Ram to confirm that, Sita gave me this. So they totally flipped Ramayana there. I think that is more, more fun that without knowing, see, as cinema suddenly realized, right? That is something amazing to do. That you are doing something different without touching the source material and yet delivering, and no one is even able to. Like people who see it, they love it. and people who get offended, they will not care. They will not understand.
And actually, like this is what makes me skeptical कि कैसा लोगों का response होगा. Because RRR में of course you had just allegories कि जैसे
Yeah.
अगर रामचरण he's playing a freedom fighter, but there's an allegory of Sri Ram.
Yeah.
And same goes with Junior NTR का Hanuman. But here it's actual Ashwathama.
Yeah.
It's maybe reincarnation of Karna. I don't know.
But also
But,
they are like people who maybe are not worshipped, they like you can have a creative liberty over them, like how you want to portray them.
The biggest surprise would be कि in parts में somehow there's one character जिसको हम जानते हैं, but we know कि वो कोई भी reincarnation नहीं निकलने वाला है, and at the end he is revealed to be Shri Krishna or something. I don't know.
Not Shri Krishna, no, because Kalki it cannot be Shri Krishna.
हाँ अच्छा नहीं कल्कि obviously.
It can be maybe Hanuman is hiding, like because he can change form, like
कोई major ऐसा कोई भगवान type character, and you're like okay, that was a great one.
Yeah. They tried to make Mahabharata in Malayalam a few years ago, almost started shooting as well. It was gonna be a biggest Indian movie ever with 1,000 crore budget, but producer got up in a case and dropped. Okay. No, yeah, even I think Rajamouli said he's making all this film so at the final he can make Mahabharata, but it's very hard.
Actually.
It's very hard, definitely with a big star cast, because getting their day, because see, Mahabharata cannot be done in one film. It can, like if you're making a like Game of Thrones level of series, it needs 10 seasons with the amount of like a real amount of real characters are there which are so instrumental in the whole narrative. Like I love the one of the stories. Okay, go ahead, Cinnamon.
हाँ तो लाइक एक मैंने ट्राइड एंड रिफ्यूज प्रोडक्शन का वीडियो देखा था शायद पिछले साल का. ही सेड कि देयर इज नो अदर वे महाभारत कैन बी डन इन द मोस्ट राइट वे अदर देन अ सीरीज. And I totally agree with it. As you said कि Game of Thrones type बनाओ 10 season पूरा explore करो, you'll get the best महाभारत and लोग भर भर के देखेंगे obviously. But somehow that feeling that I got while watching Kalki, the महाभारत sequences, जो लोग पागल हो रहे थे ना, I was like it has to be a film यार. भले ही 15 फिल्में बनाओ 14 बनाओ यार, बस एक फिल्म होगी ना तो यार लोग पागल हो जाएंगे थिएटर में.
When the latest TV show was airing, we used to like religiously sit at, we knew 8:30 comes, we finish dinner 8:30 we are there to watch the episode. And then we watched throughout, and and in that, because they was long, so they explored a lot of small details. So one of my favorite stories that it is Arjun's Pandava's Sala. So he is with Duryodhan. So there is a chance for Arjun to kill him, but Arjun leaves him. Like he's what do you say? Spares him, and he says that if you spare me today, I'll come. Like someone says to Arjun that you spared him today, tomorrow he'll come and bite you. Arjun says no, it's okay. And that guy is the reason because why Abhimanyu dies in the Chakravyuh.
Oh,
that guy caused it. And that time Arjun is reminded of that because you left him that day, today you lost your son. So like that's such a big arc.
Actually,
like you have to establish so many things.
Happens early on and the payoff happens towards the end. Yeah.
That's so good.
सलीम खान का मेरे को हमेशा इंटरव्यू याद आता है. He is like Mahabharata is the best screenplay in the world.
Dude,
it's true.
So good, dude. There's so many small details. That if you Shakuni Mama, right? Why he is doing so many things? He hates both Pandavas and Kauravas because they ruined the life of his sister, because his sister had to because she became like, I'll tie the like blindfold myself for life. So because of that he wants to destroy the whole family, and that's why he creates everything. Like he's the instrumental in creating the war between brothers. But there's so much to explore there. But coming back to Kalki, guys, sorry we distracted. There's a lot of Telugu films, old Telugu films with Indian mythology apart from core Mahabharata and Ramayana. That's true. Dude, they have been delving into this for a long time. So, and I think that's what the thing, right? The best moments, there's few science fiction moments and few most mythological Mahabharata moments which work so well. Because Nag Ashwin has seen them, he knows how to make them. What he doesn't know is where the film lacks, if you see. The sequences where the explosion has to come. It's the sequences where you have to travel from one moment to the other. That's where he's lacking. And also the time. I think they spend the most time in the second half. That's why second half is so good. Even the action design, like it's no, action design is not, oh, they fight and that this happens. No, he punches him there, then he's goes down, he does this, that's why hand moves, then they fall over, they fall there, then Prabhas is trying to save someone, then he puts the fire on him, then he tries to save with the shield thing, then he thinks, Ashwatthama thinks, then he climbs up and removes his battery, then he finds a cloth and ties him up. So that is planning, that's designing the action. That is so well done, in those moments, which is totally opposite in the intro.
Sequence में I got really impressed. I really know कि Nag Ashwin knows his job. क्योंकि वो जो पहला fight sequence है ना भैरवा और अश्वत्थामा के बीच, that could have gone haywire and just punches here and there like regular action sequences. But वो बस Nag Ashwin के vision की वजह से the way he would have intricately planned it. कि एक blow के बाद दूसरा ऐसे जवाब आ रहा है. There's this whole story in that sequence.
There's also this, when there's a hand fight between Prabhas and Ashwatthama in the first fight. So it's like, he's doing like this, holding him off, Ashwatthama, his punches. It's so cool, dude. Like Amitabh Bachchan doing that, like kind of kung fu thing.
And actually,
because
like,
he realizes
it's astonishing, but I don't know ये Nag Ashwin का direction था या फिर Amitabh's energy. I guess it was both, but I didn't felt a moment like, again, apologies to Rajini fans, but sometimes in Rajini films ऐसा नहीं होता कि you know कि he's old while doing action scenes या कुछ भी. So I didn't get that feeling with Amitabh Bachchan in this film. In some moments, some minor moments, but बाकी especially like in the climax, just before the climax, जब दूसरी fight होती है तो दो अमिताभ जब लड़ रहे होते हैं अश्वत्थामा, I was like भाई ये 80 साल का है.
Exactly.
Dude, even the camera movement, the shot in the trailer also, where he's like this and the camera rotates a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, looks so cool. And then the whole missile thing, and then he throws him.
And I think from that brief behind the scene thing that came out like in the last 1-2 weeks, that movement with the stick and like that, he actually did that himself.
Yeah.
Like that was, that's so like that energy was amazing. And I think another thing which was so flawless was the height VFX.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw
Dude,
any.
I was so impressed
well
because I was keep thinking, is that the Lord of the Rings technique they've used at a lot of moments? But then in the behind the scene, there's a scene where he's, in that costume where, like, I don't know if you watch Kapil Sharma show, Sunil Grover became Khali. So he also used those big shoes to make him taller. So I think some moments they've used that when he's with more people around. But I think most the CG shots are when he's alone and all that. I think is easy. Just scale him.
And they also do the below camera take too.
Each time I was reminded of Adi Purush ka Ravan. But it just so childa tha. And I think they did it so much better here. And that's when I realized that, it was the direction and the way he would have broken down each and every VFX element. कि अच्छा ये CGI require करता है, इसको रखो, बाकी इसको मैं shoot कर सकता हूँ. So, he must have managed each and every shot like that. So I was like, okay, the director matters.
Dude, there's a scene where, very small scene, when he brings Deepika down, she climbs down, and then they are like, who's she? We don't know who she, why you brought her here. And she goes a step back and she tries to hide behind Ashwatthama, and she, holds a stick and holds his hand. And you can see his big hands, big stick, and you see her small hands touching it. And like attention, like it's such a small thing. It's like you'll not notice. You have to focus that she's going behind and trying to hide because she feels like he'll save me, and that's such a small. But talking about dude, Deepika Padukone, she's gorgeous, man. First of all, the way they have shot her, is absolutely, and that's, dude, the fire scene where she walks. Even before she walks, the fire coming, like one side it comes darker, one side comes darker, and it's so epic. And then she, it reminded me, first time when I saw the film, it reminded me directly Padmavat. The fire moment.
Actually, same.
That's the first thing it reminded me of. And then she starts walking in, and then more epic is then the clothes start burning off. and it's such a like, okay, not that sense, not in the other sense, but that feeling, the epic feeling. It actually reminded me of, you know, how Lord Krishna was born, and in the what do you say? He was caged, right? No, even not. Yeah.
Basically, how reminded me of that in Game of Thrones, like first season, she's the Daenerys sits in fire and it burns, and she's unharmed or something. Yeah.
And Deepika was like जो एक moment होता है ना शुरुआत में where this guy वो उसे थोड़ा like करता है, like tease करता है, Eve tease करता है, and वो ऐसे एकदम रोता हुआ चेहरा बना के she goes away in slow motion. वो शायद पहले teaser में भी shot था,
glimpse में.
तो हाँ, तो like just by that face you can know कि okay she is एक बहुत बड़ा turmoil है अंदर.
She's I love, man. Like you could tell she's playing a character who's very, you know, quiet who's hiding, and like, she's what do you say, introvert? No, not introvert. Reserved kind of. She's not very, you know, can show her emotions, and like the outburst she has it later, you know, with Ashwathama.
You can see the weight of what she has experienced on her face.
Yeah. Very well put. Very well put, guys. Go subscribe to them, man.
और ये like when she has this conversation with Ashwathama, like जब वो शंभाला में जाते हैं and पूरा सब वो जो भी पूजा टाइप पूरा होता है सब, and then Ashwathama follows her and she's like क्यों मुझे मेरे पीछे पड़े हो, and फिर वो ऐसे बताती है कि मैं जहाँ भी जाती हूँ लोग आसपास मरते हैं and all. तो पूरे scene में the way she's saying it, तो again you can see the weight कि अभी उसने like she has seen the death of a close one, Annabin. And
like because of her people are dying and she's envisioning all of that now.
But again like writing wise, acting wise so she killed it, but writing wise I guess she should be more explored.
I
that
feel
reminds me कि काफी like all the expectation and theories जो हम पहले सोचे थे कुछ भी ट्रू नहीं था, कि प्रभास इस फिल्म के एंड तक चेंज नहीं हुआ, वो जो अनबॉर्न जो चाइल्ड है वो अभी तक बॉर्न नहीं हुआ, मतलब all of that is still, none of that actually was, you know, came true, and now we have even more theories.
You know, by the end of the first half I was like कि ये तो बहुत भारी incomplete रहने वाली story, because I thought in my head, I thought कि obviously like ये sequel बनेगा, ये आधी story रहने वाली है, but I thought कि Ashwathama and you know all these guys ये लोग somehow complex में आ जाएंगे and they'll have a face off with Kamal Hassan, not like a एकदम start to finish वाला face off कि अब तो खत्म ही कर देंगे, but you know something like जो Order of the Phoenix में Dumbledore और Voldemort का होता है कि it's a great fight but you know it's not the end, तो मुझे लगा वैसा कुछ होगा, but again like
I am actually, that was my actually worry that they don't do everything in the first film. Even watching this film I felt this could have been 2 films. No, I don't think 2 films will be too much. But I think one thing I was second time watching, no, I felt we can have some spin-off or something where we explore the life of Kashi. What are people like? What they are doing? There'll be someone who doesn't care about complex. They're just living their life. Who cares?
Maybe a mini series.
There are people who are just all behind getting into complex. There are people, you know, rebels, mix of rebels, or some maybe again something like Andor show which explores the people of this world, not these heroes and villains. You know, the people of the world. So I think, which I think a lot of people said they didn't get in this film, and you know, Kashi feels one-dimensional. So I understand, because there's no time. There's already less time to spend with characters. How do you do everything in this, episode, this movie? But also, when Deepika reaches there, what do you call it? Shambhala. He says, no, why did you bring her here? We will go to Flex area. And they're like, Namons will kill her. They'll eat her up. And I'm like, dude, that's it. This is planting the world building. That there's more places. There are more Flux area. There's Namons will eat her up. Like, what do you mean? There's more.
Like, you know, when they said कि Kashi is the only city remaining in this world, I was like, again, this is a build-up. कि आगे चल के they'll be like, नहीं, this is not true. The more cities,
but that was a bit weird, because at moments they say that there's only thing left Bombay. They lost Bombay in the beginning. Oh, I love the fact, man. Black screen and this dialogues. It reminded me of Dune. I think in the beginning they do this, one line. The not Harkonnens. The Harkonnens?
हाँ,
Yes.
second part में that monologue sort of thing.
No.
By the-
Before the logo, WB logo comes. This is, spice is everything. Spice is
अच्छा,
money.
हाँ.
That's how both movies start. Like they say something in that, something like that. Okay, that didn't sound that great. But yeah, so I'm like, Bombay, they, over, only Kashmir left. So there's no one in the world. And they say there's so much more in the world. There's, lots going on. So I like that they're expanding. They're not just limited to, okay, we have one city, one villain, one this, and they fight and it's over. I don't want that,
बट नहीं यार, आई वाज जस्ट इमेजिनिंग कि आगे वाले पार्ट्स में जब ये होगा, like the face off between Kamal Hassan and Amitabh Bachchan.
Oh, dude.
Why it's gonna be like,
I think they'll kill off Ashwatthama.
I guess they need to. I was worried about that. I mean, again, Amitabh Bachchan is a legend. I hope वो 200 साल जिए.
So I'm
just scared, yaar.
That is a very true anxiety one
Exactly.
I have. But also I've heard that they've already finished 60% shooting the second part.
हाँ, actually वो मैंने सुना.
So I'm not sure how truth is there, but maybe it's like I think they shot the climax first because the CG is so good. The VFX is outstanding. It's flawless at
I
moments.
guess they made sure कि अमिताभ बच्चन ने सारे सीन शूट कर लेते हैं because he's not
Yeah,
Ashwatthama
man.
in the.
I just hope he lives long. He's healthy, but anything can happen, man.
It came from the producer, so I guess it's true.
Yeah. A big shout out, guys, to Krishna for the super chat. कितना सुंदर सब कितना सुंदर शब is a reference to the old movie of him, Magadira of Brahmanandam. It is a popular meme in Telugu. By the way, I am a Telugu guy, which makes us to cherish first half. Okay, yeah, maybe again an inside joke. But from there, before coming to the characters, let's talk about the cameos. What do you think about the cameos?
Which also had the inside joke to 5 years. With
Yeah.
SSR.
That's true.
It was his look. His look was similar to like his cameo in Bahubali 1,
Yeah.
right?
Actually, it's so ironic कि राजमौली का cameo, apart from Vijay Deverakonda, राजमौली का cameo was the one जिसमें मैं एकदम hype हो गया था, but the crowd was totally lull.
Arey, my father didn't recognize him today. My theater was quiet. Ram Gopal Verma, I think few people were like this. Then Rajamouli, I think no one recognized.
मेरे में राम गोपाल वर्मा में they went crazy and राजमौली में they like कुछ किसी को पड़ी ही नहीं है, राजमौली आ गया.
You went first day, right?
Yeah,
first day I
शाम
think
को.
even my theater was reacting to all of this. Rajamouli was funny, but there's this part of me, right, where I want it to be a great science fiction film. But there's part in my brain where like, oh, that was fun, dude. That was cool. But
I don't know.
they're
who pointed
conflicting. They're conflicting.
Who pointed it in his review? I can't remember. But जब वो राजमौली का पूरा cameo था, they were like कि if you're trying to enjoy this action sequences in a sci-fi film, and then when you bring a Rajmoli cameo, then I'm out of this film. I guess Anupama Chopra ने कहा था. So yeah, I can relate to that point. But I felt कि maybe Ram Gopal Verma's cameo should have been replaced by Rajmoli's cameo. Maybe Rajmoli could have been that.
The point is that what is it adding to the narrative? Like the egg, okay, egg is coming, but him giving the egg, okay, I think his cameo is still fine. Like it could be anyone. They could cast any actor for that role, maybe because it's a small role. Even Rajamouli is also that it gives you the idea narrative wise that there are more people behind him, which is very obvious in the animated show. There are people always behind him for
rent sequence in the house. With that,
three people come, right? So I think second viewing, right, I realized that I think they overdid a lot of Prabhas's movements to show that he wants to go to complex, that he's in depth. They overdid that, which took a long time, and those sequences were also not well executed.
I guess again it was like Telugu trappings for Nag Ashwin कि Prabhas को अच्छे खासे टाइम तक दिखाना है in the first half.
Yeah, that's true. Even in the second half, before he gets the bounty alert, even that sequence I think Phil goes for again the same thing. He'll look at the complex and he's saying, "Why do you sleep here? I'll give my rent." I'm like, okay, this is getting repetitive. There was no need of this.
If it doesn't connect with the whole chase sequence, then it's a bum.
Yeah.
क्योंकि वो जब चालू हुआ ना, I was like, no, not again, यार, please.
But what about DQ's cameo?
I feel कि आगे वाली parts में we are gonna understand its value.
Maybe.
Is it just me? I tweeted about this. Is just me, or is that character kind of Yudhishthir?
He is
Because-
Parshuram.
Parshuram.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought Yudhishthir because he's into gambling and he's willing to give this man like a kind of kid away.
नहीं, मैंने actually पढ़ा था कि since Parshuram was the guru of Karna, उन्होंने उसको सब कुछ सिखाया,
yeah.
इस वजह से, and he is again a Chiranjeevi.
But isn't Parshuram immortal?
Yeah, he is a Chiranjeevi.
But then how DQ can be him?
My biggest, complaint with the
didn't die,
cameo
na?
was
वही तो point
it
है.
looked like it was shot in just one day. Like they had DQ for one day, jaldi shoot. He did not age at all. Like from that kid became the teenager.
No, I think he had
Prabhas.
white hair later.
नहीं,
I don't
again,
know.
that is a proof that he's Parshuram because Parshuram doesn't age. ये भी मैंने
That is
अच्छा
interesting. That is
He's gonna
interesting.
be- he's
No,
gonna be in the same way.
one continuity error or some issue, or maybe I didn't get it. So again, after watching second time, I learned this, that they say that he is, when he's saying the story, he says that DQ became so good that Complex was after him. But then he says that he wants to go to Complex, so he sold me. I'm like, wait, if Complex is after him, why he wants to go to Complex? Like, wouldn't he get captured there? Like, I was like, that is weird. Like, what
अच्छा
is?
नहीं, Complex wanted him for क्या, उनकी साइड से लड़ने के लिए, या
नहीं. He says
capture
na
him?
that he was so good at his job that Complex was after him. They put a bounty on him.
Bounty hunting.
अच्छा, they put a bounty on
There's a
him.
scene, right, where they are walking and the
Achha,
Complex
हाँ,
guys
हाँ,
coming and
हाँ,
they get they hide
He's
themselves.
hiding. हाँ,
Yeah.
हाँ.
So I don't know, maybe in the chat someone can explain. DQ could be Pashuram or Duryodhan. No, Duryodhan is Karn's friend, no? So no, but I don't think they'll exactly take in from Mahabharata. I think that would be little too much, like directly reference. Everything cannot be.
I don't think every character is a reincarnation.
Because like जरूरी नहीं जो dynamics महाभारत में थे वो इस वाले
Yeah,
version में
dynamics should not be the same. Yeah.
Because like जो कर्ण और उनका अश्वत्थामा का dynamic है, they are like best friend, but ये अभी dystopian Ashwathama and this Bhairava, throughout they were like fighting, and end में now they're gonna become friends. So maybe ऐसे he can play with dynamics. That's why I said ना कि it's a very selective thought कि तुम महाभारत भी दिखा सकते हो and इसका अपना version भी दिखा सकते हो.
Because it was gambling, that moment, I was like, wait, that looks like Yudhishthir, that gives me that it's vibe, but I don't know.
मैंने actually सोचा भी नहीं था. I just read it somewhere and I was like, अच्छा.
Okay, there's also this theory that Prabhas is bluffing actually, as Bujji says, that he tells multiple backstories. But I felt that is not saying that he tells fake backstories. That is saying he keeps telling different, always talking about his past or something. That's how I took that dialogue.
उसका कोई वेरिएशन होगा स्टोरी का which दलकर सलमान would clear कि अच्छा नहीं ऐसा हुआ था. Maybe like ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है.
हो सकता है.
Okay.
What did you think of that Brunal Thakur's cameo?
People have in the chat also asking.
That that was a bit wasted. Like I feel like she should have been the helper who helps Deepika escape. Like that would have made so much more sense.
But what would happen that you would expect her to be different. You would expect her to stand out, because now when we see it, we see she's just another character with her. You don't think that she's gonna stand out or she's gonna do something different, and that actually helps because you are not thinking about her. Munal Thakur, I think I read, I think it was Men of Culture, they said they could have actually used her to distract us from theories that she is the one carrying Kalki. And in the film, when she dies, we are like, what? She died? Now what will happen? Then we get the Deepika reveal.
Maybe she could have been that pregnant girl जो मरती नहीं है सीरम से. तो लाइक मतलब शुरुआत से लेके उस टाइम तक you could have kept her as the girl जो ये मतलब एक्सपेरिमेंट सक्सेसफुल बनाएगी.
Yeah, that she could be the like for audience,
91 days.
first person we sees as audience is her. She's going through that. That could have been, but even killing her there, that just shows a ruthlessness maybe. What do you think about the villain being very sarcastic? Like, it was funny, definitely, when he says, "No, I was not expecting you. You weren't expecting me. Okay, I'll come later when you're expecting." That is funny, but I don't know if it's matching the tone of this world. You know, that's I think at moments I
यहाँ पे
felt.
ना like Nag Ashwin of course wanted to execute his vision, but यहाँ पे whether it's casting Mrunal Thakur in that role or ये I think his name is Soumitra Chatterjee या Shashwat Chatterjee I guess, the Bengali actor
Yeah.
who played
The commander.
या फिर उसको funny बनाना या जो भी चीज़ हो, it was just
Manas.
हाँ मानस को funny बनाना. It was Nag Ashwin's commercial head कि okay यहाँ पे एक
That
villain
is
serious
something is very prevalent in a lot of Hollywood films where you have this kind of a sarcastic villain,
Most
like a
pan
commander.
Indian films also.
He must have been thinking ना कि जैसे एक serious villain है ही Kamal Hassan, so now you जो second villain है he should be like a mix of both. And
Yeah.
even you know throughout the film, चाहे Mrunal Thakur हो, all the cameos, and even Anna Bain, the other character you talked about, which you thought कि Mrunal Thakur को play करना था. She's also like very popular in Malayalam cinema, I guess. She's a very popular actress. So I guess he was just using their star power to kind of elevate those moments. But हाँ Mrunal Thakur में I felt it was the weakest क्योंकि like writing wise it just felt like कि बहुत weak था and he just used Mrunal Thakur कि okay some eyeballs here ऐसा.
Someone saying Hrithik as Krishna. No, I think yeah, we don't, because what happens is it's gonna be a Vishnu avatar, right? So you don't want to give a face and then later we're gonna get a face for Kalki also. You know, I wonder what if we never get to Kalki. You know, like the avatar being born. What if it's like these heroes come together and save the world? Not every time the god will come. You have to do it yourself. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking to them to just.
That's
you know,
too mature.
Yeah, that is too much for us. We want our god to come and help.
Yes.
नहीं यार जो भी concept art में देखता हूँ like कल्कि अवतार के, I mean if they are portrayed on screen in the right way, भाई आग लग जाएगी. It's
You
so
know,
cool.
for Bahubali, 2, one thing, I wanted, which I think as Indian we don't think about, is that when the kid gets to know, right, about the whole backstory we see Bahubali 2, and he's like, my father, I'll fight for him, and he goes to war. I was like, wouldn't he think that my father left me and my mother alone? Why should I fight for him? You know, like there's no doubt in him that, why I'm fighting. You know, there's no him even thinking about the fight, that my father left me and my mother and died. You know, and when he was dying, he didn't even tell Katappa, take care of my wife and kid. He's like, मेरी माँ का ध्यान रखना, and he dies. He didn't even care. He cares about this, world and everything. Maybe that doesn't go with the, narrative SS Rajamouli
I guess
had.
फिर 3 part होती हैं, because like
I actually wanted to have third part where because in part 1 his character the Kannada actor who
Kicha Sudeep.
Kicha Sudeep's character, because he says, Katappa, you need anytime, you call me. And I was like, you go and build, because you show us so many armies are there and world is there. First half is you build up and your whole army, and then the second half is the whole war. But what we got was also good.
जो बाहुबली क्लाइमैक्स में जो भी वो एंग्री बर्ड्स वाला खेला था उन लोगों ने, उससे बेटर if they could have used Sudeep's character कि इसकी हेल्प मांगते हैं, that would have been way better.
Like there's politics at play, that he has to gather army to fight and get back his kingdom. But
that was a good cameo. Like that's an example of how to use a star who has a star power in a certain region of the country and just bring him for a cameo that is both like,
like that. Diljit is there, no? Dude, when the music came out, Diljit's song, I was like, I love it, promotional wise, amazing. Please don't be in the film. It will break the whole, because that's why the contradiction, right? That you're building a science fiction world which I need to be immersed in, and these things, you break that immersion, and I'm not just watching a movie.
And it comes at the exact point where they are like focusing on his muscles and everything, and then slow mo, and then like he'll throw everywhere.
But yeah.
वही है कि again I guess he was just playing to the gallery कि थोड़ा गाना बजा दो, थोड़ा मसल दिखा दो, and Prabhas fans will be like ठीक है, now you can tell your story. ऐसा.
Any other cameo?
I guess
Vijay Deverakonda we talked, right?
Yeah, Vijay Deverakonda talk.
I mean, do you think there could have been a better Arjun than him?
See, I think I think Nag Ashwin is, because of his previous movies, he actually worked with DQ. Kirti Suresh voiced Bujji. The DQ was there. Vijay Deverakonda was in that film. Samantha was in that film. I think Mrunal Thakur, maybe that's why. So I think these actors popped up because he is he's friends to them, and he thought better to get my friends than get a bigger cast just for one scene. I think that's why they were casted. Maybe I think they can be better. Actors could have been, but again, that's not how he was thinking. So maybe Vijay Deverakonda doesn't have a big role in the whole future of the world, but he just was there to portray one single character just for the part.
They even released his character poster after.
Oh, nice. Even DQs they released. Captain.
अरे उन्होंने तो DP चेंज कर ली, like विजय देवरकोंडा में.
अच्छा.
That is his most popular. Since Arjun Reddy, he's the most popular thing.
Actually there was this pun ki Arjun playing Arjun again as a type.
But okay, cameos we talked
who do you
about.
think would be the perfect casting for other Chiranjeevis? Like let's say अगर हनुमान जी पे बात आ जाती है.
One, I think people are saying there should be cameos of Mammootty, Dharmender, and all of those, Rajnikant and all. I don't know.
Like
It should not be
legends.
forced. It should not be forced. Like
Actually.
if there's a small character you want someone to play, maybe.
I mean, I think, yeah, like if they have used, like they have used one Tamil legend like Kamal Hassan and one Bollywood legend. So,
And like मैं notice कर रहा था कि it after a long time in terms of casting it actually felt like a pan-Indian casting. Like
Yeah.
you had a Bengali actor, two Hindi
I tweeted
actors,
about this.
Telugu actor, the Tamil actress. No, sorry.
This is a Malayalam actress.
So yeah, I guess it was Tamil actor. Kamal Hassan.
We talked about main actors, right? Prabhas, everyone. Let's talk about the secondary cast. Annaben character, what do you think? I felt the intention was right.
yeah.
The setup for her was right. I was enjoying kind of a different take of a character. Like, my name means good luck, but my father died. Maybe not so lucky. Like, that is funny. But the way, again, the scenes, the way they were shot, they feel that energy.
I guess वहाँ पे थोड़ी writing weak हो गई मेरे लिए.
हाँ.
Even
Of course, the action scene की जो problem थी वो तो.
way that she gives her name, right? I think twice she says her name wrong. I'm like, that feels very, again, that feels, I was talking to Varun before we started, and I was like, there are a lot of moments where it feels like this is the script, this is the dialogue, this is how you say it, and there's no freedom given. So all these, a lot of moments, even in the beginning, when Commander Manas comes out, his whole performance feels so limited that he cannot move. He cannot say anything extra. He has to say this and cut to this character, then cut to him and saying the other dialogue. There's no fluidity in the scene. I think the spontaneous, you expect the scene to feel natural. You feel like they are delivering dialogues. She has to give some Eti her name Sumati. And she has to establish there's a shadi. This is the like I can I can see the magician's trick. In the scene, and the magic is not working.
It's not seamless.
Yeah, like I feel this is a scene written for me to feel this, and then she will die, and we'll feel sorry for her, and so it feels I can see that it's not done in a way that I don't even see it, and this happens. So I'm like, that's what they were trying to do.
And like ये जो छोटे-छोटे moments थे कुछ जगह where it should have been seamless, and जो छोटी-छोटी चीजें which are used to kind of develop the whole sequence, like वही जो Annabelle का character, उसका sacrifice, it was meant to fuel us with anger and जो भी.
Yeah.
But again, वही writing की वजह से it lacks.
Thank you, Shirley, for your super chat. Hit that like button. Thank you. Hit that like button, guys. Any other character? I like how each character gets a badass moment. You know, whoever that is, like Mariam, when she gets those, you know, action scene she gets. That is so cool. Yes, come on. Like Anna-Ben gets a scene. Then who else?
I really didn't expect it कि वो दीपिका को moment मिलेगा just before the interval. To be honest.
Oh,
like
that
when that happened, I was like, that's really good.
That you know, that shot they created, like the visual of that, it stuck in my mind. When she's standing there and she's like, she decides, I'll just walk in. I have to. And that music, the main theme of the Kalki starts to play. Oh, dude, lovely. I didn't like, because they were cutting to Ashwatthama, finding the money, and and then they were cutting them outside looking. I'm like, don't cut. I just want to see that. Just play the music and I just want to see her walk. Like that's the camera presence as an actor you want.
And again, like वो भी एक बहुत अच्छा seamless setup था. Like the whole film was kind of a dichotomy कि एक side पे Annabelle वाले moments में it wasn't really seamless, and then you had these seamless moments. वो जो money का पूरा setup था, Ashwatthama की money. Like in the beginning they kind of set it up कि this is some whatever जो भी उसको बोलते हैं कि ये लाइट अप होता है अगर भगवान इसको सेंस होते हैं तो. एंड आई डिडंट थॉट कि अभी हमने अश्वत्थामा का वो मणि वाला सीन देखा है कि कृष्ण जी उसे निकाल रहे हैं.
एंड इट व्हेन इट falls down, then I realized, oh shit, it's the money actually.
Like interval में ना, like interval
नहीं. When that thing falls down, when the attack happens, when it falls out, right? And when the girl picks it up, I'm like, that's the money, because that girl lands up with Ashwatthama later on the trailer. So I understood, that's the money.
मैं ही डम हो के मूवी देख रहा था.
I think it's just that it's just that trailer thing I connected, and because money has to reach him, so I knew that. I just
saw the teaser and the first trailer. मैंने वो release trailer नहीं देखा था. I didn't saw any other glimpses, no interviews. I was like, I want to go in this.
Nice.
But that was
for release trailers क्या सबसे best था, I think.
Yeah, release trailer was the best. I have to say.
Release trailer पे I guess लोगों के reactions बड़े उल्टे आ रहे थे. They were like कि now we are skeptical. पहला trailer better था ऐसा.
नहीं. Totally opposite. Totally opposite. People didn't like first trailer. Second trailer is like more action packed. And the second, in the release trailer, they actually revealed that mega suit at the end in the climax. They revealed.
I think वही वो marketing.
Yeah.
अच्छा महाभारत का तो नहीं दिखाया था ना कुछ भी.
नहीं. They showed that they didn't show Krishna. They didn't show Krishna. They didn't show Arjun. They didn't show Karna. Nothing. Just Ashwatthama.
I guess that was a very like master stroke marketing में. Cause अगर
they also showed the arrow hitting the womb in Mahabharata.
No, that was another point. Like some important, actor could have been used for a cameo. If they
no, that was fine. I was fine with her. She was Abhimanyu's wife, right?
नहीं, but like the fact they didn't show any other Mahabharata characters like Arjun and all, ये सब पूरा was such a master stroke, because I literally thought कि जैसे ब्रह्मास्त्र में they used Mahabharata as a prologue, इसमें बस शुरुआत में थोड़ा बहुत दिखा देंगे and they'll go on.
We'll move on,
but जब वो glimpses दोबारा आया, I was like, okay, now I'm excited for this universe. अगर ऐसे ही चलने वाला है तो.
I remember, I think when he's talking about Gandhi, Arjun, when the girl asked him, right, who have you fought? Who you would be the champion, na? Best warrior, and it's like, no, I wasn't. There was this Arjun, and we again get glimpses. I'm like, oh, that is so cool. And then when we really go into the back, Mahabharata again, when Ashwatthama is looking and he's coming from top, the fire is there. And
horse shot
when the both arrows collide, and you can see on the battlefield, people are flying off.
हाँ, वो like nuclear explosion जैसा था.
Wow.
That really tells कि as a director उन्होंने visual का इतना ध्यान रखा नाग अश्विन ने कि even like a blast, it could have been a random blast, कुछ भी कर दो, but it should feel like an
even bomb. The blast where in the climax when the ship enters and they destroy the thing which they are rotating. When they blast that, the blast is so good. Like I've seen some of these VFX reacts thing where they talk about blast CG blast doesn't look good because blast becomes white. You know, there's no color. You cannot see the details in a blast. It's just color because light, right? And CG, you can tell it's a CG one because you can see the details. It's not white. And here, I think the blast was so good, it felt like a big blast. It could have been actually, you know, a compositing of a real blast maybe there. But you know that, I think that's where at moments, I think sound design wasn't good because in the climax, everything lands. The blast happens. I feel the impact, you know, the vibration of impact, the punch and everything. But there were some action moments where the punch is happening. The guys in the introduction scene, when he hits one of the guys, he hits, cut to, he has fallen. There's no impact sound. And I'm like, yeah, that is missing. It's technically, you know, clumsy and, you know, not working. Again, you're back to that.
maybe nitpicking कर रहा हूँगा, but you know, like सबसे पहले जब महाभारत के glimpses हम लोग देखते हैं climax में, like जब वो कर्ण का पूरा आता है, like he holds the गांधीव, नहीं sorry, जो भी वो कर्ण का होता है,
अरे it's called विजय धनुष और बाण, विजय बाण.
अच्छा, विजय बाण. तो वो जब ऐसे वो पकड़ता है पूरा, and then we start seeing glimpses of महाभारत and all, and then again जब वो बच्चा आता है when Prabhas is gone, and then he tells कि who this guy was. तो उसमें हम लोग एकदम continuously पूरा देखते हैं. तो I guess इन दो जगह जो editing हुई थी, it could have been slightly better. Like जो जब वो बता रहा होता है, he goes into full flashback mode continuously, हम लोग देखते हैं कि अर्जुन is like पूरा ऐसे, तो उसमें like I again felt like there were some moments जहाँ पे silence है, like बीच में like उतना tight नहीं है जितना होना चाहिए, like timing थोड़ी miss हो जा रही है ऐसा.
Yeah, but even that shot is cool when the blast is happening and he's going against the blast, and even when he kills Manas and he's bringing Deepika and the ship is crashing, it's disintegrating, but it's coming down. And he just, you know, coming down and just steps away and it just disintegrates. That's such a cool visual, you know.
And उसमें पता है एक और बीच में एक चीज हुई थी, I don't know, I guess editing नहीं, it was more like कि वो हमें VFX थोड़ा like नहीं करना है यहाँ पे, थोड़ा बजट वो बचाना है उधर, इस वजह से they didn't completely do that. कि जैसे प्रभास is standing with that band, उसके हाथ में आ चुका है, and then he jumps towards some two aircraft से जो भी, मतलब वो ऐसे अजय देवगन वाला मूव करता है, फिर वो flip करता है उसे कुछ करके, and those two things are destroyed. कुछ तो ऐसा होता है, वो flip करता है. And I saw it 2 times, and दोनों में it just felt like okay.
Those even when he holds one and then he picks it, it feels a little awkward. When he holds one and just picks it, something is off. Yeah, it feels off. But I think someone commented, you know, on my video where they said, you know, the powers are very inconsistent because suddenly they are very powerful and suddenly they are not that powerful. So maybe you know, he's like Ashwatthama is unable to pick Deepika up, but I don't think that's anything related to power because he's putting pressure on the bridge and it breaks off. So balance is more important than power if you're picking someone up, you know. And other thing is that he's captured, right? And then when Bhairava is leaving with Deepika, suddenly he gets powerful and he removes all of it. So I think, I don't know, maybe those things got weakened, or maybe some explanation, so he could, you know, remove them and, you know, catch Bujji. But now talking about, I think we have covered most of the stuff, I'm sure. It's anything left like
2 घंटे हो चुके हैं.
Oh shit, I didn't even realize. 3 घंटे का तो picture है यार, at least we can spend 2 hours. That Krishna silhouette with music is epic. Yes, that's definitely epic. Deepika is carrying Kalki. Literally, so far, Ashwatthama, it would have actually be heavy. Nice explanation. But even the fall, you know, was little bit off. But later, when she turns, it becomes better. But dude, even when Ashwatthama versus Ashwatthama is happening, and then he kicks Prabhas and he falls down. Then again, that whole sequence, right, where he's flying towards her. I think it's full CG, but it looks really good. You know, where Deepika is running towards Ashwatthama, then he's flying like this, horizontal, trying to catch her. Then he misses her. Ashwatthama catches him and throws him. Then he goes behind, hits something, and then comes back again. It's like it feels very CG, but it looks good. It doesn't look bad.
And again एक और छोटी सी चीज which wasn't very like उसे maybe edit अच्छे से नहीं किया या setup अच्छे से नहीं किया कि there's this random moment जहाँ पे like हम लोग अश्वत्थामा एंड भैरवा की फाइट हो चुकी है, we are now into the war वाले पूरे shots हैं soldiers के भिड़ते हुए पूरा, and then we cut back to this place जहाँ पे ये लोग लड़ रहे हैं and अचानक से आग लग जाती है and then भैरवा saves a kid.
Yeah, because the things are...
That wasn't set up very well.
Yeah, because they fall off the cliff, not the cliff, the bridge. And then like there are kids running away and these things are falling, bricks are falling, so he catches one of it and like wings, and
like
then he just put fire on.
ऐसा होता ना कि we would have seen them fighting for 2 minutes and then ये moment होता it would have impacted more. But अचानक से when you are cutting back to them तो तुम direct उसी shot पे आ जा रहे हो तो वो थोड़ा
it's a cool moment. Like we don't directly just see them fighting. It's a cool moment to cut there.
It is a reminder कि हाँ ये हमारा hero है अभी भी, he is not villain.
Yeah. I think in the animated episode also there is a moment where he has to choose between being good guy, bad guy, but he chooses a gray side to it, and it also explains his hologram technique actually. That whole hologram thing he does in the film, that thing is actually explained in the what do you say, the animated sequence.
अब I guess देखना पड़ेगा.
Even that there's a dialogue, right? Bujji says I used to be working in complex ships. So that is also everything is like the whole backstory, like the whole origin of Bujji and Bhairava is in that 2 episodes.
Oh, that's nice.
Jim, okay, everyone's talking about. Okay, but now we have come to the end, so let's talk about the future. Where is it leading? My theory is that because now they have gone into the sunset, I think they're gonna spend. I think the first full half will be them just spending time with each other, and they fall in love, but not like full on love. They like unsaid love, because there's a scene right where Deepika looks at him when he saves her. When
yeah,
they have this look at each
when
other.
he's walking, yeah.
No, not that. When he dives, Bhairava dives and then Ashwatthama picks them up.
And catches
When
them
they sit
out.
together, they just look at each other, like there's a stare between them.
Oh, okay.
I guess I don't know वो angle explore होगा कि नहीं, but if he is really going by the Mahabharata वाला thing, then maybe he'll not go there. I guess.
As in?
Because like I was reading somewhere कि जैसे मतलब जो फ्यूचर में कल्कि होंगे उनको जन्म कौन देगी, तो सुमति तो obviously, but there's also a father.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, कुछ V से ही था, and I mean अब प्रभास is already कर्ण, तो उसे उस father का भी allegory बता देना, I don't know whether it'll work.
Father is no one, right? It's a lab experiment.
हाँ वो फिल्म में दिखाया है, but maybe like
Father is actually Kamal Hassan though. Like if you see in a way.
नहीं like in the real prophecy जो like
Yeah, I know. I think it's Vyas something like that.
Ved Vyas. What?
नहीं
No, not Ved Vyas. Vishnu Vyas. And Sumati is the mother, Vishnu Vyas is the father.
Vishnu Yash है.
Oh. Vishnu, yes. Oh.
Okay, interesting. No, but and I don't think they'll connect too much like that part to Mahabharata. I feel like.
हाँ वही तो like he has the
I think
liberty.
there can be a love angle there. But I feel like the first half will be them exploring the world. They're not gonna do complex. Between complex and all, they may travel. That in certain films there's a scene, right? They just two characters are on a different journey, and other characters are building up that big war. Like, what do you think? Sambhala survives or not?
Of Thor and Rocket.
Yeah, in a sense. Good example. But do you think Shambhala survives? They win or not?
I guess it depends on how fast Nag Ashwin wants to go with this franchise. अगर वो जल्दी खत्म करना चाह रहे हैं तो it's ruined already.
Okay.
बाकी I guess it will be difficult to show कि Shambhala is still there because उसकी जो करता धरता है Mariam, she's already I guess she's dead, right?
हाँ ब्लास्ट हुआ था हाँ
शी इज डेड आई गेस वो मरियम
अरे मरियम ही kills no
yeah with yeah
Mariam ही kills
with
no
तो मरियम इज डेड
yeah
अरे हाँ
तो वही एक तरह से मे बी
even the tree is on fire so
हाँ
I think maybe whatever survivors like they'll go and hide somewhere and
maybe there are more places it can be
I
that.
think they will go to some other place and we'll get to explore a new location in the universe.
I feel like we are gonna get Kamal Hassan's backstory.
that
We're gonna maybe because they said no, he's there for 200 years, so maybe his backstory is in our present times. Like something happened.
years is just a facade. Maybe like आगे पता चलेगा कि he is like उससे भी ज़्यादा.
Yeah, that can be
that's what
possible.
he tells people.
Yeah.
He could be alive.
No, but
since
in the
Mahabharata.
animated sequences show right that the World War III has happened, and that leads to the flags are there of different countries and they all fall away, and the his icon he takes up, and then we see the complex.
हाँ maybe हो सकता है कुछ angle.
That detail I don't remember the animated sequence.
And yeah, I saw it again. So that flag one I still remember the first time. It was a cool shot of the flags, all the flags of different countries, and they fade away, and the sign of complex comes, and then the it becomes a complex, and then he ties everything, his face and all. Ashwatthama and walks in a temple, walks away in the temple.
हाँ वो तो मैंने भी notice किया.
But I feel like we're gonna get some really cool backstory for Kamal Hassan, explaining why he became this or what he did, like how he made complex or what are his reasons behind it. And I think second half will be we gonna get Kamal Hassan versus Amitabh Bachchan. I think it will be like three-way journey. So one side Kamal Hassan is coming, Ashwatthama and all they are going to find them, and they are there the third place. So they all combine meet there at the end. Or maybe,
I'm just somehow more interested in the वही महाभारत के साथ allegories जो हो रही थी, rather than exploring this dystopian world. तो I hope कि जो भी climax हमने देखा, it'll go on more, कि more characters and you would somehow I want to explore their dynamics rather than just reaching the end. कि we want to see Kamal Hassan dead. ऐसा type.
Someone saying maybe Kamal Hassan is also someone from Mahabharata.
I guess he's
in my theater someone was like he was speaking Gandhi so like he's Arjun.
नहीं वही I was surprised यार. I thought कि end में जब वो मतलब गांधी का पूरा setup था ना कि वो निकालता है and then this other scene कि वो बताता है ऐसा है कि भगवान आने वाले हैं, तो I thought कि end में प्रभास वो गांधी लेगा ऐसा कुछ होगा.
No, but they established ulta na कि he's current, so and what can challenge Gandhi is current's what is that? कौन सा बाण? Vijay बाण.
But वही मुझे लग रहा है controversial होगा because like in case if they go with this Gandhi and Kamal Hassan wala thing.
But it's not Krishna, right? It's Arjun, so I don't think people care that much कि अर्जुन को कैसे दिखाया ऐसे. Like he's using Arjun's weapon, he's not using Arjun. So, Nona, did you notice all who supported Kauravs at his bad side are there to protect the birth of next avatar of Lord Krishna? That's their redemption, right? That's a redemption of their dharma.
That's their punishment.
Yeah. Redemption, punishment, yeah, whatever you call it. Because Ashwatthama, Karn also, so I remember they kind of give him that. He also hates. Come on.
Kaurav.
No, the girl. अरे चीरहरण जिसका हुआ था. Draupadi. Because Draupadi declined his offer because he is from a lower caste. That's something, not my complaint, but I wish he was not revealed that he's actually the son of Kunti, who was born to Suryadev. Because I think that defeats the purpose that, he's great because he also comes from that warrior race, not because he fought hard, fought against the caste system and still became a warrior. It's kind of that, क्या कहते हैं वो? परवरिश versus खून. That idea.
Nature
versus क्या? Nurture. So if if like at birth, two people are exchanged, will they be like the like the blood of their parents, or will they be like how they are raised? So that's like a idea, like a debate people have. So I don't know. Let's not go there. Anything else in the chat, guys? But
There
still,
is a
how
Malayalam versus Telugu fight happening.
yeah, come on, guys. We have reached such point in Indian cinema where everything is booming, everything is working, and we are fighting still among us only. That's how East
actually,
India
like,
Company ruled.
नहीं एक्चुअली लाइक पता नहीं ये बहुत पहले की न्यूज होगी बट मैंने रिसेंटली देखी कि द नेक्स्ट राजमौली फिल्म इज गोना बी 1,000 करोड़ का बजट.
That's this like
महेश बाबू.
It's not even started shooting.
global
though.
throttling. I love that fact, dude. He could have just within a year, our success, he could have made one more film and so. But he's taking his time to like everything to the point. That's why his films are so good.
I was just surprised by the fact कि now we are having a film, Indian film, जो 1,000 करोड़ के बजट की होगी. And it tells you how far we have reached.
I was like, the budget of a Star Wars films, which is 250 million dollars, is not like if Kalki becomes the highest grossing Indian film right now. Bahubali 2 it is to 2,500 crores. That's not even the budget of a Star Wars film.
Actually, वही.
Just imagine. Our highest grossing, the maximum we can reach, with the box office and the viewership, it's not even matching the budget of a Hollywood blockbuster. That's what we are trying to make. Like
And
what
we are missing out
Kalki
on
is.
so many stories because of this.
No, but no, I feel that's what Rajamouli did, right? If Rajamouli had said, "I'm making Bahubali," people will watch it. No one would have given him money. No one. But he had to do it. Like someone needs to do it. Then people realize, oh, there's a way. They will not start, digging for a.
People who don't realize Bahubal's impact. Just imagine कि Bahubali जैसी movie exist ना करती, you wouldn't have got all these films we have been obsessed by in the recent years. All these visual spectacles. ये होती ही नहीं.
Karan Johar said it for Brahmastra. Ayan Mukherjee said, because Bahubali happened, I was like, okay, what my imagination was, I can pull it off. It inspired people that we have these ideas also, but we thought it's not possible.
Same with,
in India.
KGF. Yash said in the making कि when Bahubali succeeded, we got the confidence. So now I feel कि आने वाले 5-6 सालों में we can easily cross the budget of. We can also have a Star Wars का budget. 5-6 सालों में 7 सालों में I guess.
No, it's very far. Because the thing is,
if this Rajmouli film really does well, तब maybe.
No, but he's also making a genre that I think foreign audience will enjoy a lot, and now he has a market. So even if 1,000 crores is how much, dude? His RRR was at the budget of 75 million, which is a normal budget.
Around.
So 150 million is a good amount of budget for even a Hollywood film. I think the Superman movies at that budget that they are making, if I'm not wrong. But also then they have this $100 million additional marketing budget over the production budget, so they think differently. But I think when we say 1,000, it like includes everything. And I think half the amount they'll recoup because of all the Netflix deal and all of that. Because I think Kalki also for Hindi version, it got 175 crores already from Netflix. Then for different languages, they got the money, satellite rights, all these music rights. So I think that is not an issue. Whatever, I think they're already on for 500 crores they'll do with this weekend. So that's great. But I think this is a start. This film is a start, and it just begins, it sets up what has to be done. Now people will watch this film, they'll explore this film, OTT whenever it comes, when the next one comes, there'll be a huge buzz. That everyone will be into it, they'll understand there'll be no need to set up anything, no waste time. Whatever didn't work can be rectified, everything will be sorted. So I think the future is very bright, just like Karn. Someone was also saying
money.
Someone was also saying we may find Karn's this also क्या बोलते हैं, कवच एंड यार उसको कुछ कहते हैं, के से ही होता है एक्चुअली, के से ही होता है कवच और कंडा नहीं, anyone in the chat? Kundal, kavach or kundal. I think it's a bracelet kind of thing he removes.
No, it's like a bali or something, I feel.
Okay.
Yeah, earring.
It's been some time. But that's also interesting because they couldn't kill him without that. So I think they send his mother, Pandava's mother goes and asks him to give him because Krishna asked her to do that. And then even in the war, his payya of the chariot gets stuck and he gets down to remove it and then they kill him like that.
From back.
I think there was a scene in Mahabharata TV show where Krishna just goes to visit Karn before the war has happened. So it's the first time we see them meeting, and Krishna doesn't tell who he is. He just acts as if he's just a stranger or the common man. And they are together and they are on a chariot, and the chariot's tire gets stuck. And Karn goes and tries to bring it out, and Krishna is looking at it, and we hear the sound of the war. And he's seeing that this is gonna happen in future, and he feels like he like a tear comes down his cheek. I'm like, oh, so epic, dude. But guys,
all these जैसे विजुअल और ये लाइक ये जो ऑडियल पूरा एक हम लोग का इमेजिनेशन है महाभारत का, आई समहाउ नो कि आफ्टर राजमौली इफ देयर इज समबडी हु कैन डू जस्टिस टू इट, इट्स नाग अश्विन. क्योंकि लाइक यूजुअली आई एम अ गाय एज एन ऑडियंस आई विल बी ब्लोन अवे बाय योर स्टोरी टेलिंग कि मतलब तुमने कैसे सेटअप किया, क्या वो पे ऑफ है. आई एम रियली ब्लोन अवे बाय विजुअल्स, एंड इस फिल्म आई वाज क्वाइट एस्टोनिश्ड कि जस्ट सीइंग दोस विजुअल्स I got goosebumps. I was like,
I was very sure of his work because I've seen his previous film Mahanati. It's a biopic on a lady superstar Savitri, and it's a 3-hour long film. But you will not feel anything. I think Kirti Suresh played it, and she got a national award for the film. And the way he plays with color in the film, the way he has added something to the biopic, like a fictional narrative. Not about her, but someone like he introduced 2 other characters in a different timeline, exploring the life of Savitri. So and through that he shows the importance of that persona, that what it means to people, what she meant to people through that fictional narrative. And it's beautiful, like one of the best films. And having seen that, just being his second film, I was like, this guy is amazing. And knowing that he's doing this, I was very sure that direction, he has the ability to tell a story, and like a biopic he told in such a grand way, so I knew he could do it. But he actually did it. Also, I forgot to say, any moments were like, wow, oh my god moments. One I remember is when Annaben throws that thing out and like, I'll just come back. And then she just leaps forward, like it pulls her, and she just gets on the bike. I was like literally, I said it loud in the theater first time. Oh, so cool! I was like this.
Again, one of the proofs, like इस moment में मुझे prove हो गया कि यार this film is gonna get a hold of mass audience like no other film. Because again, जहाँ पे मैं रहता हूँ वहाँ पे usually you either see cheers on main heroes या ऐसे supporting character भी हो तो अमिताभ जैसा हो.
Yeah.
But rarely do you get such a loud cheer for a character who is not set up really well and is played by an female actress who is not well known in the mass circuits. तो जब वो moment हुआ ना, everybody erupted like hell. अरे भाई क्या हो गया? So I knew कि okay, it's working.
Actually, her character and the bald guy, actor's name is Pashupati.
Driver.
They are in the animated series also. There's a small scene of them. But yeah, they are there.
I guess he's paid from Hotstar to kind of plug this animated series every now and then.
Amazon.
Sorry, Amazon. Yeah.
But I find it weird that the Hindi version will be on Netflix. I'm like, they should have stick to one OTT platform, so the whole universe is there. Not, but I think they're getting more money. Who cares? The Hindi version is on Netflix, so other version may be on Amazon. But dude, as an animator, I feel very connected. After watching those 2 episodes, I was like blown away. See, animation quality is fine, Okay, one more thing I noticed second time watching. You know, one of the scenes where Prabhas is inside that in Bujji, basically the converted version, the climax. So when he's coming in it is fire, right? Behind the fire comes out. So in one of the when he's before the fire, right? It's actually the 3D, the animated version Prabhas sitting there.
What?
It's a body double. It's the animated version, like it's a CG version of Prabhas.
Acha, CG na, how is
And then when they cut back and when you see a close-up version, it's Prabhas sitting inside. I'm like, wait, that is the animated Prabhas. And then we cut to and like, okay, maybe I didn't. I'm wrong.
Body double, na?
Pardon?
It was a CG body double, na?
CG body double, but it was the asset of the animated version. It was not a live action looking model basically.
I guess OTT version में अच्छे से point out होगा.
Maybe I saw it wrong. Maybe I didn't see it properly. Possible. But I could wait, that is the animated, and then we cut, so I couldn't see properly.
Hey, that was also a very cool moment. Like वो जो ऐसे आग लगती है, and he's like you thought कि मैं prepare होके नहीं आऊँगा.
Yeah.
And you know, like the stuff they did with Bujji na, like जो भी visual quality थी उसमें and the way they did it was like really great.
Talking about Bujji, I feel they could have they have used totally practical thing, but I think they can do some VFX with it. Like there are moments where I want Bujji to do little bit, the eyes blinking a bit, like something, so it looks. There are a lot of moments where it's a static shot of it.
Like मतलब जो छोटा सा एक robot, mini robot type है वो, or the whole car.
No, car is an extension of it. Like Bujji is basically the AI. So car is an extension of it basically. So.
अच्छा तो AI you want कि उसमें थोड़ा और CG हो and all.
No, CG as in the movement, right? It's a practical thing. It just moves like this and move like this. So there are moments in the film I noticed more in the second where it's a close up of Bujji and it's not doing anything. There's no dialogue. There's a scene I think in the action scene where there's again a close up of Bujji, but no, nothing. Even when the first time Ashwatthama and Bhairava fight. Then Bujji is like, there's no dialogue. Hey, Bujji, he's coming from behind, or he's coming. Wait, like some dialogue would have, just increase the energy in that scene. I think they could do something like that. Like when he's coming to attack Bhairava, right? His leg is stuck, so she's like, he's my boss or something. Something like a cool dialogue, and he just comes bashing like some like I want the character. Like you have create an amazing character.
Many a times I felt that कि जहाँ पे ग्रुप में लोग खड़े हैं and you just feel like कि एक के बाद एक बस one by one dialogue बोल रहे हैं. It doesn't feel कि सब कोई involved है. Like especially now I recall कि जब वो दीपिका का पूरा वो fire वाला होने वाला होता है, उसके just पहले you have this moment between the rebels कि why are we here? इसके पहले तो कोई बुलाया नहीं ऐसा. तो उसमें I guess वो लड़की शायद एना बेनी का कैरेक्टर कुछ बोलती है. And the bald guy, I think he takes some moment to react to that, and it just like makes it very dull. So those are the like gaps.
She says that we should go inside, and he just like from the ear pulls her and like stop wasting time. We have died. Many of us have died. We are leaving, something like that. It feels little.
ऐसे group moments में वही बीच में silence आ जाता है, and I'm like, why are you not making it really tight?
Yeah, that I felt through the film, except the second half. Second half, that's the thing, right? Second half, we cut to good moment. We cut to good moment. Like then, even I like the fact that because it was revealed in the trailer, so I think we all saw it coming. But like the fact that they say Bhairava, we blacklist you, and we cut to Bhairava has come home and very sad, and and he's acting. And I knew that point that he's gonna use him to get to Shambhala, because from the trailer we know that he has said that I'm the only one can catch him, and all of that. So from the trailer you know that moment, and it has not happened yet. So it should have happened. Though you know that's gonna come next.
अब तो मैं पक्का दिमाग बंद करके मूवी देख रहा था, because I didn't see that too. I was like, okay, ये बहुत बढ़िया तरीका था करने का.
But I know, but still I liked that they did that. It was
I
good.
also liked it.
Good thing, but
And
yeah, I
bet
think
the mass audience is so unpredictable कि बहुत लोग उसमें भी they were like, यार ये क्या? We didn't understand it. ऐसा type.
yeah, that's true.
That's how soft our mass audience is.
Someone said that in the serum he took, right, Kamal Hassan, it is of Kalki's blood, so that's why he was able to pick Gandhi.
हाँ.
That's also possible.
I guess the whole experiment was
मुझे भी
about
वही
कि
लगा.
The whole experiment was about कि वो वो womb से वो power निकाल के वो एक serum बना ले अपने लिए. And he was testing it so much कि किसी में तो कल की अवतार हो. That was the whole experiment, I feel. He wants that power. But हाँ, that was also very cool कि एक drop से he got so much powerful. तो just imagine कि पूरे से क्या होगा.
People are talking about Mahabharat, Rajamouli should do it and all. I'm like, can we have Mahabharat series but in like avatar form, as in like 3D capture? So you can have any actor, you can have anyone. There's no limitation on that. And you can do any wild visual.
If Rajamouli is gonna make Mahabharat, अगर वो newcomers के साथ करते हैं ना, people will still go in those numbers and watch it. I just somehow feel. भले first film में they will be like थोड़े collections कम हो, but subsequent में once they get connected to the characters.
No, if it's a film, he'll definitely cast big actors. If it's a series, then maybe, because I think Amir Khan also tried, right? He said in an interview.
Yeah.
They even went with this team of writers. They went to US. They sat with a lot of big writers and learned how to write, and then it just didn't manifested.
I really don't think Rajamouli would cast stars. Definitely, like it's not
because he has said it in an interview that it's very hard to get so many actors, and like logistical issues. That's why I'm saying a 3D. Like an avatar version of it, motion capture version of it.
नहीं, but वो I guess 2898 AD में ही हो पाएगा जिस हिसाब से हमारा market grow कर रहा है. Like Avatar is also like a very big thing for Hollywood. Like अभी
he didn't make Avatar because the technology wasn't there.
Actually,
like that's the balls of that guy. That visionary. I cannot make my story because technology has not reached. So I'll wait for technology to reach a place. Then I'll make it. And then like they had to he created a technology for his film.
Like imagine अभी भी जो हम CG देखते हैं top के Hollywood movies में, it's not as far, like maybe some films but not all of them are as far as Avatar 1. 2009 में आई थी वो. It's been a decade.
Every year Hollywood especially releases.
Om Raut went for Avatar 2 premiere.
Oh bhai. यार I still remember that tweet. I mean उस आदमी का गधापना इसी से रिफ्लेक्ट होता है. I mean तुम्हारे फिल्म में 8000 VFX shots हैं. At this time you should be panicked as a director कि भाई क्या करूँ अब. And he's tweeting about it कि Adipurush is a VFX beast. I'm like बहुत बढ़िया.
थिएटर में एक सीट छोड़ देना.
अरे यार कल के टाइम पे ऐसा ट्वीट कि प्लीज आप लोग थिएटर में एक सीट छोड़ो ओम राउत के देखने के लिए ताकि वो जान पाए कैसे VFX फिल्म बनाते हैं.
Oh my god. But that's you. Arey, there's a thing. Om Raut Bounty 5-star. There's a meme also going around.
Good one.
I think they are working on the tech. This is a good chance. I think that's something Rana Dugapati said. That we have so many engineers in our country. Why don't they make something for films? Like how cameras were invented, and made better to make films better. So I think we also need that movement in our country where we are developing technology to tell better stories. Like why can't we find a easier or much efficient way to tell a animated film? Like there's so much AI going and all of that. So, and I think we have used a lot of technology in this film. That's also an achievement this film has done. So we have kind of full visual effects. We have deep fake first time, I think, or maybe they had been done before. Ganpat mein.
Don't forget Adipurush.
Arey.
And nothing can compare to that.
Guys, I think anything else, guys? Any last words, both of you?
I really expect he doesn't fumble in subsequent parts. Because I genuinely, like, after a very long time, I'm excited about a universe. I guess last time I was this excited for a universe was watching Vikram. Like, I really wanted to see ki aage kya hoga, but we know what happened with subsequent films. I'm not saying it's the end. I still know that filmmaker is going to bounce back. But again, we had Leo and all underwhelming attempts. I don't want that to happen with Kalki.
No. I'm very sure I think it's gonna just become better moving forward. I don't know. I have
We
that
hope.
trust. I have that trust. I don't know. Varun?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I do trust them, but again, like I said this before, I think when we were talking about the animated series, that like I don't want them to, like it's so tough to get such a big cast again together. So like I just hope that there's not a big like 5-6 years gap between the next
Yeah.
film. Like I hope they either
The
make
planning
a
is good.
animated series or something, but just actually like keep the story continuing and
Yeah.
keep people still interested in the universe while they are
Yeah.
already interested.
Great. And I'd like to thank Shelly for the memberships, for the super chat. Krishna, thank you. Latino Slant, thank you. We'll definitely do a session soon. And looking forward to that. And everyone in the chat, thank you, all of you, for your cons. I also had a poll in the chat going, how many films will we get in KCU? So Kalki Cinematic Universe. And what do you guys think? I had options
That was
2, 3,
600
6.
votes.
Yeah, 2, 3, 6, and infinite. I mean, it'll.
Infinite, I hope.
No, which one do you choose?
I voted
2,
for
3,
the
6.
one that has highest right
Yeah,
now.
this is cheating, yaar. I didn't want to reveal without revealing. Cineman,
मतलब कितने होने चाहिए?
what do you think? How many films will get in KCU?
I guess it will be a trilogy of this story. And since
Okay.
he termed it a cinematic universe, so we are gonna have spin-offs other than the trilogy, or maybe
Okay.
like 4 or 5 films. 5 films ज़्यादा नहीं चलने वाला है. I feel this story.
Okay, got it. I feel 6 films. That's what I want. I want 6 films. Varun, you said 3.
I voted
So
also.
even the audience, 35% said 3. So let's see.
But
And
20% also said infinite, which is big. Like,
yeah, that's the say. They so much is there. All right,
And then,
every
I think 29% or something said 6. So like
Yeah.
if you just combine 3, 6 and infinite, like so many people want to see more than 2 movies. I think that's a good sign that they want it to be
Rahul says,
trilogy, at least trilogy. Or
It's not gonna be 2 movies. इतना तो पक्का है.
we
More than
never
2.
had a trilogy in India, right? Like Appu trilogy is there. Okay, if you want to count, Appu
आप
trilogy. Is there.
लेगा.
Sorry.
Bahubali. No.
It's the duology.
Yeah.
Ponniyin Selvan, the duology. Brahmastra,
Like,
if it comes out.
Disconnected
If,
films like Doom is a trilogy,
Yeah,
Pushpa
Doom is a
3.
trilogy. Doom is a trilogy.
But it's not connected, no?
Connected. Yeah. Okay. Franchise. It's a franchise. Doom is a franchise.
If we get Pushpa 3 before Kalki 3, then maybe. क्योंकि Pushpa का actually it's gonna be a trilogy.
Spy Universe, Tiger 3. There are 3 versions.
हाँ, but it's a franchise. अच्छा हाँ, okay, हाँ, okay.
Tiger.
And that's a connected. Oh,
Yeah.
But it's like वो continuation में नहीं है जितना continuation में you would expect a Kalki or a Brahmastra to be. Like
But you will count Tiger trilogy because there are 3, and the 3 are very it's not like they are just deviating too much. But also their storyline is very story
but
is
it's
like
like ना कि मतलब वो
one-
character
yeah.
पे चल रहा है कि like Tiger goes on a mission. That's
Yeah.
basically the 3 parts.
it's like James Bond in a sense. if you
हाँ
say.
ऐसा.
But
Or
थोड़ा
Mission
बहुत
Impossible.
ऐसा, like, in first they are just in relationship, second में बच्चा हो गया, third में बच्चा और बड़ा हो गया, like that continuation is there.
I'm talking about the Lord of the Rings kind of continuation. कि the story is still left ऐसा type.
Yeah.
So maybe Kalki might be the first.
Someone saying KGF 3. Indian 1, 2, and 3. Again, they are
Who is also
robot.
coming like so many years later.
No, so Rahul says 7 Chiranjeevi, 7 films, and 8 film is Endgame. I think 7 is too much. 7 films, dude, it will take what?
10 years.
2, 8, 9, 8,
More than 10 years. Yeah.
अरे it took Harry Potter 10 years. मतलब Hollywood की इतने बड़े production.
Yeah.
So obviously.
But 7 films, considering, see, they have been making the film for 5 years. Considering they did overlap with other the other stuff they're doing, so it becomes faster later. But 5 years for one film. Now consider 2024. Someone said 2026, second film will come out. That is 2 years. So if it takes 7 films, it takes 14 years.
हाँ.
अरे मेरे बाल बच्चे हो जाएंगे भाई.
2026 again, that's like, I don't think it's gonna come out. Like,
I think what Cineman said, right? Like this narrative of Kalki and Kali versus, it cannot go beyond 3 films. It cannot be third film also is building up and fourth film, like that become too much. Like some epicness, like some climatic battle has to happen before we move on.
I guess, but talking about the speed, I mean, I was really surprised when I got the news कि 40% already shooting complete हो चुकी है. It kind of proves कि
60%.
South, 60%. It kind of proves how much confidence and backing they have compared to Hindi filmmakers. Like Ayan Mukherjee को अभी War 2 बनानी पड़ रही है just so that he can have Brahmastra 2.
Yep.
So imagine the time and the whole like dynamics.
Yeah.
I was just pondering upon
But
that.
I feel that's good for him. That's good for the Brahmastra universe, that it's better he takes more experience of creating a big budget film and reverse and then get more confidence on his own universe. अरे कोई मिल गया Krish 3. That's a trilogy. They all are connected.
Again, not the same story continuing. Different story in each.
Like it's the most connected franchise, but again it's not like वो Lord of the Rings वाला continuous एकदम कि मतलब story आधे में ही छोड़ दी तुमने ऐसा.
That's true.
I think कोई मिल गया Krish had very connected sort of story. कि मतलब if you end कोई मिल गया and directly start watching Krish right after that, तो थोड़ा time jump है, but फिर भी it's.
I guess it's gonna get very interesting with Krish 4. Like maybe after Kalki, the biggest visual spectacle I'm excited for is Krish 4.
Cineman, you don't know what we did once. We did a rewrite session of Krish 3. So we did 3 episodes. Yeah, so first we, good and bad of Krish 3. Then second episode was what we include, third episode, the characters. So the thumbnail for third one, so the thumbnail I created like that, it looked like a thumbnail for Krish Part 4. And it got lakhs of views. But it was the sign we get, the graph we get, no? It's like everyone clicked and within 5 seconds it dropped to then we discontinued.
It is a good idea to have a rewrite on a live.
Yeah, so it was during COVID we used to do this. So I think we did for sequel to Bhave Jo Superhero. Krish 3 we did like whole rewrite. But yeah, it was fun experience. Like we explored different, a grey Krish 3, Krish 4, or Man of Steel inspired.
Planned रहता था कि like you used to come up with your own stuff या फिर ऐसे impromptu एकदम.
No, so impromptu, but it's like we decided. So this episode will talk about characters. So or villain, who will be the villain? How so different ideas. So that will not work, and this will not work. So and for I think rewrite Krish 3, we decided that when he lands on airport, right? It's the initial days and people don't know who he is. There'll be political pressure, so the army will show up at the airport, and targeting him, trying to capture him. So we try to change that part there and all of that.
Yeah, it's very interesting idea. Like I don't know if you guys have seen कि मैंने भी like Ravan के 3 part ऐसे बनाए थे fix वाले.
Dude, I'm so jealous of you, man.
Why?
How can you make 50-minute long animal video and it gets so much views, dude? No, I'm not jealous of the views. I'm jealous of you can create. How you're able to create such a long video? How long have you sat on your edit to make a sense out of it? Like how is no one's getting bored? Like you're so good at holding attention and not like wasting my time of. Guys, if you haven't checked Cineman, that's the cue. Check out his channel. I just his donkey video. Like I'm like.
I actually wanted your opinions on the donkey video because he had the live and actually like while writing the video वो live के बहुत सारे points मुझे help किए थे.
नहीं bro, that's the point, right? That's a whole discussion we had, okay, on donkey. And then how you are taking that and framing a whole structured video of explaining everything, taking all the like you have to. Hirani needs to meet you before he makes his next film.
नहीं यार मैं तो चाह रहा हूँ मुझे कुछ एडिटर वगैरह असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर कुछ बना लो यार मेरा करियर बन जाए.
You need to be a script supervisor on him with him. But telling him dude it's not working. You heard he's doing one patriotic film with SRK next.
I think it's a rumor I feel.
Okay.
I guess he's on 2 projects right now. एक तो वो as a producer with Vikrant Masse, and another project I guess most probably it's going to be Munna Bhai 3, because Sanjay Dutt उसको बहुत बार धमकी दे चुका है according to him.
Okay. I don't know, man. Munna Bhai. Let's see.
I guess it's time, yaar. It'll be the perfect comeback. It'll be the perfect comeback.
Dude, I was watched 3 Idiots and I'm like, dude, this is masterpiece.
हाँ वो तो like that is it's his best, yaar.
You know, one thing I do, you know, I've seen the movie so many times, and I've seen other watch that movie, and I have kind of, you know, broken down why it works. You know, and the same thing you say in your videos. You know, how is each scene is a 3-act structure. Each scene has a point he's trying to say. You know, it's just the whole. It's 3 Idiots is a masterpiece, dude. It's nothing is extra, nothing is less. Everything is to the perfect film. People are fighting Brahmastra versus Kalki. Anyways, so guys, that's it from this session. I hope you had a fun. Definitely check out Cinema's channel. Definitely check out our other channel, Indian Society, where me and Varun make geeky content if you're into all that. And thank you, Cineman, for coming. I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope this inspires you to make your video in 7 months. And we'll be looking forward to Kalki's video. And it was great, talking and a lot of fun. There's so much. I hope we didn't miss out. Like, I'm worried that we end the stream and like, shit, we didn't talk about that.
We have missed out. मैंने already accept कर लिया है. Because I had so many points, and you know the conversation was so engaging कि मैं आधे points भूल गया.
Yeah, I hope guys, I hope we did justice, because Nag Ashwin did justice, and that's what matters. कल के लिए.
Kalki. Yes.